Jonesy. All right, thanks a lot, Mike. We're here at the Toyota Center. The Houston Rockets leading the Utah Jazz in first-round action here in the Western Conference playoffs. The number 5 seed Houston Rockets leading the number 4 seed Utah Jazz. The Rockets back in the playoffs after missing the postseason party a season ago. And Houston coming into this as one of the hottest teams to end the regular season, finishing on a 16-6 run to end the regular season. Mehmet Okur off the mark, and Utah scoreless still. In about 3.5 minutes of play, they are 0 of 6 from the field. Here's Tracy McGrady back the other way underneath, and Chuck Hayes makes it 6-0.
Houston is attacking the basket. They're 4 and 5 men. Chuck Hayes there and Yao Ming have accounted for all 6 baskets. The Jazz have been content to settle for perimeter jumpers that are not going down. Yao Ming dominant in the paint area early on.
Deron Williams underneath. Utah still looking for its first field goal, now 0 for 6 from the field. The Utah Jazz stumbled into the postseason, losing 6 of their last 9. Yao Ming makes it 8-0. And how long will Jerry Sloan wait before he calls a timeout? He's going to take one right now, taking a 20-second.
The inexperience of the Utah Jazz on full display right now. Jerry Sloan, who has won the most playoff games of any coach who has not won an NBA championship, he's got to settle these guys down. This is a very good Utah squad.
And the Jazz back in the playoffs for the first time since 2003 as we take a look at the Burger King starting lineups. First of all, for the Utah Jazz, a team that has been struggling collectively with its help. Kirilenko back in the starting lineup after he struggled with a thumb injury. Williams and Fisher in the backcourt, a rather diminutive backcourt. Meanwhile, for the Houston Rockets, Yao Ming, Chuck Hayes, and Shane Battier up front. Rafer Alston and Tracy McGrady in the backcourt as we go courtside now to Jim Gray. Jim?
All right, Mark, thank you very much. I spoke to several players on the Jazz. There really is a lack of confidence coming into this game for this team. Larry Miller, their owner, said last week, a week ago today, that the team sucked. They had a team meeting. They've tried to put it all behind us. We talked to Jerry Sloan before the game. He said he had no problem with what Larry Miller had to say. He said he sees firsthand exactly what it is that I go through. But he did go on to say about this game, we've got a lot of young guys. Are we going to be intimidated? Are we going to get out there and run our offense? It's a different game and a different season now. Speaking to Derek Fisher, he echoed that. He said, however, a lot can change with one game. Our confidence can be changed if we can get one of these first 2. Mark?
Yeah, they had a little bonding session, Jim, between the team owner, Larry Miller, and the players. Kirilenko coming weak side with a nice block, and that's what I'm sure Jerry Sloan would like to see more of from Andrei Kirilenko, a little more activity.
Mark, to back up Jim's fine point, the confidence is going to come from your great players, from Carlos Boozer, an all-star, Memo Okur, an all-star. Now they've both scored. The real key, though, is going to be Deron Williams and his ability to get in the paint and create for these fine front court scores.
This is his first playoff series for the second-year guard, and Yao Ming turns it over. Kirilenko in the front court on the move, and that's going to be a block. Andrei Kirilenko looking rather disembalmed and resurrected here in the early going, and coming out of the timeout, Bill Walton, they have done very well, scoring the last 5 points. So Jerry Sloan with 78 postseason wins. He took the Utah Jazz to the finals back in 1997 and 1998, having the misfortune of running into the Chicago Bulls circa the Michael Jordan era. But this might have been one of his finding coaching jobs this year. They finished up 51 and 21 on the regular season. 51 and 31, pardon me.
This is an incredible rivalry between these 2 Western Conference powers. The 2 championships in the mid-90s for Houston, they went through the Utah Jazz with John Stockton, Karl Malone, still coached by Jerry Sloan. The 2 trips to the finals for Utah in 97 and 98, they went through the Houston Rockets, then coached by the legend Rudy Tomjanovich, who still makes his home here in Houston.
This is the 6th playoff series between these 2 squads. Here's Williams out top underneath now. Carlos Boozer had it knocked away by Rafer Alston, and that's the type of hustle play that Chuck Hayes makes routinely. The second turnover of the game for the Jazz. Battier. Rebounded by Williams, but Battier a key component for them, spreading that floor.
Battier, an outstanding defender, and the matchup between Battier and Kirilenko will be critical. Kirilenko's had a disastrous season. Okur, this is his game right here.
Likes to shoot the downtown shot, and missing that time, but a 38% three-point shooter Tracy McGrady still waiting to get on the scoreboard. Past the halfway point of the first quarter, Yao Ming.
An obvious game plan, pounded inside to Yao Ming early. Can Rafer Alston play a consistent enough game to keep the flow going right now? Houston has the stars in Tracy McGrady and Yao Ming. And this guy right here, Deron Williams, keep an eye on him. He has the potential to control this entire series.
Derek Fisher, meanwhile, knocks down the bank shot from about 15 feet out. Fisher with 3 championship rings from his days with the Los Angeles Lakers. And since that time out, Utah countering with a 7-0 run. Jerry Sloan using that moxie and savvy on the sidelines. Back to the Toyota Center after this.
Hey, Mom, SpongeBob's at Burger King. Can we go?
As soon as your dad's done.
Hey, honey. Guess who I am? Come. Who am I? SpongeBob, no pants.
Wow.
And I live under the sea, honey, in a pineapple. SpongeBob, no pants.
SpongeBob fever is spreading. Grab some tasty chicken fries and toys, only at BK.
Something new to crave. Presenting the all-new CR-V from Honda.
Someday, your day will come. Someday, you too will bask in the soft, warm glow of high definition. My friend, someday is today. With prices like ours, Vizio's making HD TV a possibility for everyone.
Vizio.
Follow the curving Irish lanes long enough, and you'll find yourself in the town of Wicklow. And if you arrive on that most special day in Ireland, you'll find the town celebrating their favorite holiday in traditional fashion.
Hey, John, happy Cinco de Mayo!
And welcome back, everyone, to the Toyota Center. Some fans still arriving here at the energy capital of the country, but no lack of energy inside the building. The Rockets with a 1-point lead, and tonight's Cooler Talk presented by Gatorade, and people whispering about Tracy McGrady and his playoff futility.
Everybody is wondering, is this my time? And now I've been in 5 playoff series, and I haven't been out of one. And it seems like people are just making it to be my fault because I haven't advanced. And that seems to be the point this year. Everybody is really focusing on me and seeing how I'm going to respond.
Well, Tracy McGrady told us that if they don't get out of the first round this year, Bill, quote, it's on me, end quote.
Well, that's nice of him to say that, but it's not really true.
Battier, meanwhile, knocking down the three-pointer.
Tracy McGrady is one of the greatest players of this generation, and if he played with better teammates, he would have been out of the first round before. This is the 3rd leading scorer by average in the history of the NBA playoffs, with almost 30 points a game. Now, that's beautiful pick-and-roll basketball that is the staple of Jerry Sloan's offensive attack. But this guy, Tracy McGrady, has assumed the responsibility. It's going to be a lot on Yao Ming, on Shane Battier, Rafer Alston, and this young man here, the Chuck Wagon, Chucky Hayes.
Battier from exactly the same spot, different result this time. Boozer rebounds for the Utah Jazz. Utah with an opportunity now to tie the game. Under 4.5 minutes to play here in the first quarter. Here's that pick and roll game again. And Deron Williams is playing at an all-star level as he knocks down the jumper. Played in the rookie sophomore game this year. And next year, wouldn't be surprised to see him playing in the big game on Sunday.
He's a brilliant player. His college days at Illinois, they went all the way to the championship game. Yao Ming inside cannot finish, but his unbelievable size and strength allows a second chance opportunity that also will not fall.
Now Utah, Bill, with an opportunity to take the lead here.
Hopefully somebody has told Yao Ming that Utah Jazz big men are not going to get in the air to try to block his shot.
That ball tipped out of bounds off of Chuck Hayes.
Because he can just, Yao Ming, turn and fire any sort of jump hook that he wants. Van Gundy, upset as can be with the way that turn of events played out.
Jeff Van Gundy also doing a fine coaching job this year. Last been to the finals with the New York Knicks back in 1999. 21-15 in the first round, and he was concerned about keeping Utah off the free throw line. The Utah Jazz shoot more foul shots per game than any other team in the NBA at about 30 per.
Utah Jazz, one of the most efficient offensive squads in the NBA. Everybody gets dazzled with Phoenix. They're the #1 team, but Utah, the second best shooting team and second in the league in assists per game. This is a precision squad modeled after Jerry Sloan's brilliant vision.
Fisher fouled by Rafer Alston. Bring up a good point about Utah and Jerry Sloan, his longevity, 19 years as the head coach. And Bill, for as long as we've been watching this modern day era of the Utah Jazz, they've been running the same offensive sets in the half court, yet the consistency is unparalleled almost.
The remarkable thing, Mark, is that Jerry Sloan, who was noted as a defensive player, who would stop everybody, Jerry Sloan, he calls all the plays, even dating back to that Hall of Famer John Stockton.
There's Fisher pulling up in the lane, and Derek Fisher temporarily solving his shooting woes as Utah now with its first lead of the ball game.
That's a great sign for Derek Fisher because he is, by the numbers, the worst shooter in the history of this building, the Toyota Center.
Sure. Wow, that's an incredible stat.
Well,
that's a good one.
He's shooting 27% from the field in his career in this building. And no one ever has done that poorly.
Gonna have to play at least 2 here. Matt Harpring off the bench and knocks down the jumper off the weak side pin down. And Utah revitalized now with a 4-point lead.
Houston is going through Yao Ming at the expense of Tracy McGrady's game. He just traveling violation, easy play to call by Mark Wunderlich, right on top of it.
Well, Tracy McGrady has said in the past that he deferred too much, but he's going to be a little bit more aggressive to get off early, offensively anyway. Back with more after this.
Hip, hip, Jorge! Hip, hip, Jorge! Hip, hip, Jorge!
2 of the premier talents in the game meet in a first-round classic. 2-time MVP Steve Nash leads the Suns in Game 1 against Kobe Bryant and the Lakers. Coverage begins tomorrow at 2:30 on ABC.
Love this 7-layer dip!
You guys brought dip?
No, 7-layer crunch wrap! 7-layer dip, but easy to eat anywhere! It's good to go!
Good to go!
Good to go, Greg! Yeah! Who's next?
Taco Bell's new 7-layer crunch wrap. Hearty beans and warm nacho cheese sauce layered with cool sour cream and guacamole. Wrapped up and good to go. To get the great taste of 7-layer dip, think outside the bun.
Great feats of engineering don't start with the top. Introducing the all-new BMW 3 Series convertible. Built from the ground up to be an ultimate driving machine.
The road of tomorrow is being created today. From tires that help make your car more fuel efficient and safer, to earth-friendly production and recycling methods, Michelin is striving to help you find a better way forward. Michelin, a better way forward.
ESPN's presentation of the NBA playoffs, brought to you by Deja Vu, on the DVD on Tuesday, April 24th. And Las Vegas, overtime guaranteed.
And welcome back to Houston. A look at Yao Ming's restaurant here in the Houston metropolitan area. Very nice vibe inside. The food, I'm told, Bill, Epicurean. The cuisine, very fine Chinese food. There's Yao's mother who helps run the restaurant. The interesting thing is that they also have a restaurant in Shanghai, but over there they serve American food, predominantly Tex-Mex.
The cross-cultural exchange that so many of the international players have brought to this great league. Giricek can't find the mark. He's back just from a rib injury himself, missed 3 games. But cross matchups instead of cross-cultural is the theme here, because in transition, both coaches have all kinds of different strategies to what they're going to try to do. Who can execute those cross matchups the best? Oh, the bank shot from Jaron Collins.
Jaron Collins,
yes,
whose brother Jason, part of a winning New Jersey Nets team earlier today, as the Utah Jazz now, Bill, in the midst of a 10-0 run. How does Houston get Tracy McGrady a little bit integrated here in the offense?
Clear aside and don't think about feeding other guys. I think Houston has come out too amped up, too focused up. This is one of a lot of games ahead of you to win the championship.
Rafer Alston, one of 4 Houston players this year that has made over 100 three-pointers. As a team, only Phoenix has made more threes this year than the Houston Rockets. That's a big part of their attack. Harpring posting up McGrady. Collins. And that's going to be a foul against Luther Head, who's checked into the ball game. That's his first personal. A little bit of an Illinois reunion with Head and Deron Williams.
Yao Ming, 3 for 8 shooting, 6 points, 6 rebounds. A lot of easy opportunities that he was unable to convert. And what Utah has done by playing so well under the brilliance of Deron Williams is that they've been able to take this crowd, raucous as can be at the top, put them back in their seats right now. Boozer goes one-on-one in the paint.
Rebounded, tipped up by Harpring, but Alston controls for the Houston Rockets. Here they come. Tracy McGrady still looking for his first field goal, and we've played almost 11 minutes. He's 0 for 3 from the field.
But Houston did not take care of the advantage that they had early when Derek Fisher was guarding Tracy McGrady. The size difference between McGrady and Derek Fisher is huge. McGrady can just get right in the paint and just jump right over the top. Now they got Matt Harpring, who's a lot more physical, maybe more disciplined, a lot longer. Carlos Boozer to the bench right now. Where will the offensive firepower come from Utah's front line?
The foul was against Boozer. That was Utah's first foul of the game. We've almost played an entire quarter. From the corner, Rafer Alston knocks down the 3. And more on Utah from Jim Gray. Jim?
Well, Mark, Jerry Sloan told us that he thought that the first quarter was very important tonight, that the Jazz did not get blown away by the emotion or have too much emotion themselves, that they needed to stay even keel for 48 minutes. And the transition of the game and the emotion in this game was very important, because if they fell behind at the start, he didn't feel as though they could battle back. And if they got ahead, he didn't want to see them try and blow the other team out. But to stay the same way and play the same way for 48 minutes is what he's preaching.
Yeah, this is a very aggressive team. In fact, Jerry Sloan, as Giricek goes to the free throw line, was relating a story about his aggressiveness as a player, how as a rookie with Baltimore, he fouled out of 6 of his first 7 games. And, you know, the play of the Jazz kind of reflects the way that Sloan played, because they are the foulingest, if you can say that, team in the NBA. They've committed more fouls than any team in the entire league.
And Jerry Sloan's story ended with the great punchline from Johnny Red Kerr, who should be in the Hall of Fame. Johnny Kerr told Jerry as a rookie that, hey, look, kid, they can't call them all. Just get out there and play your game, and you'll be just fine. I'm staggered that Jerry Sloan is not already in the Basketball Hall of Fame.
Boy, Giricek aggressive on defense against Tracy McGrady, but commits the team's second foul. And that's the first on Giricek. Well, great schedule of games coming up. It's playoff time on TNT Sunday. Washington at Cleveland at 12:30. Denver at San Antonio, followed by Golden State at Dallas. Then ABC tomorrow. Los Angeles is at Phoenix in a matchup between two teams that played to 7 games last year in the playoffs. And then Tuesday on NBA TV, New Jersey at Toronto. That's game 2 at 7 o'clock Eastern time.
With Tracy McGrady at the line trying to find some sort of rhythm, and all the criticism that has come his way. Tracy has learned over time to ignore all that. That's just part of life, part of being in the spotlight. But a look at the numbers for Tracy McGrady. Through his first 25 playoff games, he's only played 25, this is the 26th. The only one who has similar numbers with Tracy McGrady in their first 25 playoff games in terms of points, rebounds, and assists is none other than Oscar Robertson, and that is elite company.
In a 2-for-1 scenario, Williams missed everything. There's a 3-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock. McGrady's still in search of his first field goal. No fouls to give either way.
The nice thing that Jerry Stone has at his disposal, he has a myriad of players who can match up against Tracy McGrady. Foul trouble should not be an issue for Utah.
McGrady with the pull-up on Giricek.
Tremendous defense by Gordon Giricek.
Well, they made McGrady work. Save, but back to John Howard in a foul. By rule, the officials will look at it.
Clearly good. What Deron Williams needs to do in that situation, throw the ball to the far end of the court. Don't try to bounce it off somebody's leg. Houston, 9-2 run there to try to get back in control of this game.
And great work by one of the professionals, true professionals, as Jeff Van Gundy says. Juwan Howard with a clutch basket here in Clutch City. The first quarter is in the books. The Rockets leading by 1 when we come back.
Separate yourself from the herd. The innovative Ridgeline from Honda.
There's been a Scorcher sighting.
Scorcher is back.
It's a hot one.
Hey, Scorcher.
Well, the Verizon Wireless Family Share Plan just got bigger, so I signed us up. Now you can IM and send text, pics, and flicks messages to anyone on any network as much as you want.
But we do that already.
Yeah, but now we can afford for Mom to quit her second job. Hola!
Now get unlimited IM, text, pics, and flicks to anyone in the U.S. on any network with the new Family Share Plan. Plus, buy one Samsung and choose another of equal or lesser value free. Verizon Wireless.
Chris Johnson has a gift.
You see things before they happen.
Now,
You could prevent a major catastrophe.
he'll discover what you can do when you know what's next.
Life is supposed to be a surprise.
That would be nice. Rated PG-13 this Friday.
I can't let my allergy medicine put me in a fog, so I only ride Claritin Clear. Claritin relieves my worst allergy symptoms for a full 24 hours, and it's proven to make me alert and focused, not drowsy. So I stay razor sharp. Live Claritin Clear.
Nothing brings out the kid in you like the scrumptious combination of milk chocolate and Airy Krispies. Nestle Crunch, for the kid in you.
15,102 three-pointers. 9,125 dunks. 197 buzzer beaters. 89 overtime games. One champion. The NBA playoffs.
The Houston Rockets care about the community. Over the last several years, Yao Ming and Dikembe Mutombo have participated in Basketball Without Borders camps in China and Africa. This year, Mutombo will return to South Africa, and his Rockets teammate Luther Head will travel to Shanghai to take part in Basketball Without Borders Asia during the summer of 2007. NBA Cares continuing a tradition of basketball and service to the community. And earlier this year, Dikembe was honored by the White House for his charitable works, many of them, in particular the Marine Biyamba Mutombo, his mother, his hospital in Congo bearing his mother's name that will open later this summer.
And Dikembe Mutombo, along with Luther Head, two critical components of Van Gundy's attack. Their guys, Mutombo and Luther Head, are generally considered to be the saviors of this season due to injuries where Yao Ming missed 32 games and Tracy McGrady in and out of the lineup a little bit too much.
The ageless Dikembe Mutombo, that was the second personal foul on Gierchek, but he jokingly told me, I asked him, when's the hospital going to officially open? He said, July 15, exactly a month after we win the NBA championship. I think he was only half kidding. There's Williams coming back the other way.
This Rocket team believes they're going to get it done. Some people think they have a real chance, but they still have severe limitations in terms of overall team speed and quickness, and then lack of depth.
Although, call the Houston Rockets quote-unquote sleepers at your own peril, because earlier this week, Jeff Van Gundy and his entire roster, almost to a man, bristling at the notion that they are sleepers. They feel that they have the chemistry and the talent to go a long way into the playoffs. Here's Okoro from downtown, and he knocks down his second three-pointer of the game. Utah back up.
Houston are the favorites right now, because they've got the star power in Tracy McGrady and Yao Ming. But that play right there is emblematic of what it's going to take for the Jazz. Penetration by Deron Williams, create, and then Okoro along the perimeter, the three-point line. Carlos Boozer, Harpring, Gierchek, Kirilenko finishing off of this man's brilliant playmaking capabilities.
Here's Harpring on the pull-up over McGrady, but off the mark. Tracy McGrady 0 for 5 from the field, but mitigated by the fact that he does have 5 assists so far. Here's Juwan Howard.
And for the first time in his career, Tracy McGrady leads a playoff-bound team in assists.
Wide open, Tracy McGrady off the mark once again, 0 for 6.
Utah should be concerned that they only have a 2-point lead with Yao Ming not being dominant, with Tracy McGrady yet to make a basket.
Yao Ming on the bench right now, getting a breather. Of course, conditioning has always been a little bit of a factor for him. Gierchek just inside the three-point line, and Gordan Gierchek gives Utah a 4-point lead, and Gierchek coming back from a rib injury, still wearing a protective type of gear underneath that uniform. He has 4 points.
Gierchek trying to be that guy that could finally be the big-time answer to replacing Jeff Hornacek from the championship level years in the 90s for the Utah Jazz. Great defense by Matt Harpring, who will be a big factor in this series.
Bill, the tempo of this game seems to have swung in the favor of Utah in the last 5 or so minutes.
Tempo is Houston, slower, grinded out. Execution and control is Utah right now. The Utah Jazz, for them to win this series, they need to get it running up and down. They need to leave Yao Ming in no man's land and take advantage of Utah's superior depth and team speed.
Jazz in the midst of a 7-0 run. Juwan Howard snaps the drought at the offensive end for the Houston Rockets. While Yao Ming was out with his injury when he missed 32 games with a fractured leg, Juwan Howard came in and did an outstanding job for the Rockets. Millsap underneath. The rookie out of Louisiana Tech, affectionately known as, quote-unquote, the paper boy to his teammates, because, of course, the mailman was already taken, Bill. He has been one of the great feel-good stories this year.
Paul Millsap, second in the NBA in rookie double-doubles. Granted, it was a weak rookie class this year. Not a single one of the rookies got in double figures in double-doubles this year, which is shocking.
Rafer Head from downtown, a rare miss from the three-point line for him. He shot about 60% in the month of April from downtown.
How reminiscent is it? Deron Williams coming up the court, just a quick glance right to Jerry Sloan for the play. That was John Stockton every single time. As brilliant as he was, he let Jerry call the plays.
Williams lost control and got it back. And Williams holding his hand, holding his left hand in pain. Foul underneath. Houston Rockets trailing right now here from the Toyota Center. The energy capital of the country, aglow at night. Back after this.
hurricane. This means war.
I can't wait to see the look on their faces.
It's so easy.
Like taking candy from a baby.
Introducing the all-new Patriot, starting at $14,985. Choose your adventure at patriotadventure.com.
Go ahead. Call Marcus Colston a tweener. He's a physical specimen at 6'4", 223, and he shattered receiving records at Hofstra, but the scouts still didn't bite. They said he was too slow to be a receiver and too skinny to play tight end. When the 2006 draft came along, Marcus fell, all the way to the 7th round, number 252. But the Saints snatched him up and never looked back. Colston clicked with Grease from day one, scored a touchdown in his first game, and went on to catch 70 balls for over 1,000 yards, helping the Saints to a magical season and reviving an entire city along the way. You can call him a tweener, but the only thing he's between is a standout rookie year and a bright future in New Orleans.
The draft matters. Go deep. The NFL Draft presented by Coors Light begins April 28th at noon on ESPN.
In Africa, it's all about diamonds. You owe me money. I'll take a stone as payment. My son!
The only reason you're still alive is because you haven't told anyone where it is. The right stone can buy anything. Safety, even freedom. What's it gonna be, bro?
Kill them all! Leonardo DiCaprio. Blood Diamond. Now available from DirecTV pay-per-view movies.
Hockey's back, like you've never seen before. NHL Center Ice on DirecTV. Your favorite teams, your favorite players. Get up to 40 games a week, plus select Stanley Cup playoff games. For only $49. Act now and score big. To order, call 1-800-GET-SPORTS today. NHL Center Ice on DirecTV.
ESPN's presentation of the NBA playoffs, brought to you by Jeep. With 7 Jeep vehicles, there's one for you. And MasterCard. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard.
Tonight's Inside the Game presented by Wendy's and Bill. Tracy McGrady's playmaking skills really on display so far.
Tracy McGrady averaging 6.5 assists per game on the season. They're really stacking the defense in, so that's freeing him up. He's already got 5 assists. Yao Ming finishing. Chuck Hayes finishing. The three-point shots. The Rockets, who average 25 three-point attempts per game, have already taken 11 tonight. 3 of them have gone down. Those shots are going to be there because Utah has to pack it in. But Tracy McGrady is the only player in NBA history who have won an NBA scoring title but has not won a single playoff series. Millsap cannot finish inside. Yao Ming just too dominant.
Alston looking to push the tempo a little bit now for the Rockets. Alston for 3. Yao Ming battling underneath, a collision, and that's going to be a foul against Matt Harpring.
Jerry Sloan cannot believe it. Harpring had the inside position, and he is right in Dan Crawford's face. He's saying, what about the elbow over the top?
Harpring battling Yao Ming underneath. The Harpring pound for pound, Bill, maybe one of the strongest guys in the NBA. Long before weightlifting and strength training was vogue, he was ahead of the curve.
He's a football player. That's his background. That's his family's background, and he is tough. He's fierce. He's exactly the kind of guy you want on your team.
Core guarding Yao Ming. They're pushing Yao way out of the block, and he throws it away out of bounds. Good defensive sequence that time for Utah.
This is exactly the kind of squad that poses trouble for Yao Ming. Yao Ming would much prefer to play against a methodical, banging center inside who you know exactly what he's going to do. You got the creativity of Okur.
And Matt Harpring knocking down the mid-range jumper.
You got Kirilenko. You got Carlos Boozer. Guys who have skill, are going to move out on the court and be able to make decisions all the time, play a quickness game. That is going to be a very daunting challenge for Yao Ming.
Rockets down by 8 points with Tracy McGrady on the bench. And McGrady still hasn't made a field goal. Here's Luther Head firing away. And it's one and done at the offensive end for the Houston Rockets. Williams walking it up.
Spread the floor and let Williams try to get into the paint.
They're looking to post up Harpring once again on Battier.
This is a tough matchup, though. Battier is such a solid defender. I had him for number 2 and Defensive Player of the Year.
Yao Ming fouled that time by Paul Millsap, the rookie.
But Shane Battier is just one of those special players. Wherever he goes, the team wins. Even though they never won big time in Memphis, Memphis had their best years when he was there.
Part of a draft day deal with the Memphis Grizzlies. They traded the rights to Rudy Gay to obtain Battier. We'll be back to Toyota Center right after this.
Hey, it's Anna. Don't be late for my match.
Introducing the all-new Jeep Patriot, available trail-rated with 172 horsepower and 30 miles per gallon, starting at $14,985. Choose your adventure at patriotadventure.com.
Hot soup, $4. Cold medicine, $11. Blanket, $24. Making it all better. Priceless. With PayPass on your MasterCard, just tap and go.
Introducing the all-new Jeep Patriot with traction control, electronic stability program, and ABS brakes. Starting at $14,985. Choose your adventure at patriotadventure.com.
The reason why I like taking my girls to the games is you learn a lot through the game of basketball, respecting the game and knowing how important teamwork is.
You're seeing the ultimate teamwork now.
It's just a great atmosphere.
How much fun is this?
And it's just not about basketball, it's about everyday life. It encourages them to continue to push for their dreams.
And Detroit wins its Sunday championship.
And who knows, maybe one day I'll be coming to watch them play. Ain't that right?
Yeah.
Matt Winder in the studio with this Taco Bell update. 3 NBA playoff games already in the books today. The Pistons got 22 points from Chauncey Billups, 22 more from Richard Hamilton. Rip also found Tayshaun Prince for that insurance bucket as the Pistons beat the Magic by 8. Identical scores in Chicago and Toronto as the lower-seeded Bulls and Nets each got wins. 16 points for Vince Carter in his much-anticipated return to Toronto.
Yeah, Vince Carter really seemingly off his game this afternoon up in Toronto. And Miami, the defending champs, a little bit too late in their late game efforts.
Nice to see Richard Jefferson with the huge game and the solid team effort by New Jersey, who looked very, very good. But all the players could learn from Vince's mishaps today is don't be so focused in on being an individual star. Just get it done as a team and be able to play with the poise and confidence that the Utah Jazz are displaying right now. Their bench has been fantastic. They got a +10 over Utah's bench. 14 points for the Jazz off that bench, 6 for 10 shooting.
Here's Giricek. Boozer was open, passed it to Harpring. And here comes Rafer Alston. It's a 2-on-1 for the Rockets. Alston, foul. That's going to go against Williams. Juwan Howard will be sent to the free throw line. That's the first personal foul against Williams and one of the few fast break attempts for the Rockets in this game.
It's always difficult to fast break against Utah because they're so disciplined offensively. They're always balanced. They rarely turn it over. But what we're seeing from here is that Yao Ming's defensive presence is making the Jazz hesitate on their 15-foot shot. Take the ball as the penetrator to Yao Ming. Get right into his face and then turn around and set up somebody else who's maybe 16 or 17 feet away from the basket that Yao Ming has no chance. The Jazz are trying to get 8-foot shots, and Yao Ming is going to be able to stop all of those.
Well, Bill, we talked about tempo a moment ago. So far in this game, 0 fast break points.
In the entire game?
The entire game. Howard makes the second free throw. Tracy McGrady still without a field goal and still without a first-round victory in his opening round series. 0 for 5 in his career, trying to change that trend. Williams knocking down the jumper.
The number 3 player chosen in the draft 2 years ago. Coach Krzyzewski, the national team coach, is in attendance tonight. There's a lot of talk right now that Deron Williams will be on the national team this summer and probably in Beijing as well.
Yao Ming fouled underneath that time by the Jazz, and not as much talk anymore. Getting back to Deron Williams, you don't hear the loud complaints anymore about, hey, why didn't Utah take Chris Paul? With all due respect to Chris Paul, who's a wonderfully talented guard, Deron Williams having a great season. Interesting scene at the All-Star game back in February. I was with Williams at an event, and Magic Johnson crossed the ballroom, walked all the way across and shook his hand, said, you know what, Deron, you're doing it old school style. You're playing great point guard basketball, and next year you won't be in the sophomore game. You'll be in the big game.
I thought he was going to be in the big game this year. They had the great start, 12-1. They were the talk of the NBA. They faltered a little bit. But this guy, you get up next to him, he just oozes class. The level of physical fitness that he has. He's a tremendous leader. He's not as vocal as Chris Paul, but when those two guys go head-to-head, the numbers have been Deron Williams justifying that third selection. And
that time he made a nice pass on the pick and roll. Boozer missed the shot. Alston looking to pound it inside to Yao Ming. Yao Ming getting the ball pretty far off the block, though, Bill. Foul that time on the help. With 5:21 to go here in the second quarter, Andrei Kirilenko coming back into the game. That foul is going to go against Mehmet Okur. That's his second.
We would be remiss if we didn't tell the viewing audience what happened at the last timeout with Yao Ming, because there's really nothing like the atmosphere of an NBA playoff game. And here what they do, they just put up a video presentation of a Yao Ming version of Wild Things by the Rolling Stone. But every time they sang Wild Things, they said Yao Ming. And they had Yao Ming playing the drums and dunking on everybody and blocking the shots. And it was so creative. Oh, Mick Jagger, Keith Richards, Ron Woods.
They'd be proud.
Charlie Watts would be very, very proud. Wild Things.
Yao Ming extremely popular here in Houston. Unfortunately, his jersey just the 6th top-selling jersey in China behind Kobe, Iverson, Wade, and LeBron James, among others.
Well, that's this year. They've already bought his jersey one time.
And for more on Yao Ming, let's go to Jim Gray. Jim?
Well, I talked to Yao before the game, and you see it right there. He said the most important thing for him in this series is defending the pick and roll. He said, with different teams, it's been difficult for me this year. Hopefully in a 7-game series, I'll be able to correct some of the bad things and some of the bad habits that I've got him. Every day with the same opponent is going to be much, much easier for me. This is a big area where I need to improve. Doesn't need to improve with that end, on that end of the court, though, Mark.
Yeah, nice catch and shoot on the turnaround. Houston now in the midst of an 8-0 run, and they have cut the lead to 2 points with 4:35 to go here in the first half of play. The Houston Rockets down and pretty good shape in light of the fact that Tracy McGrady is on the bench right now and without a field goal in the game. 4 on the shot clock for Boozer.
Tough to shoot in Yao Ming's face. One of the reasons Jim Gray's point was so right on the mark was that Yao Ming is guarding Carlos Boozer. They're not going to run pick and roll with him very much. They like to run pick and roll and the step back for Memo Okur, and that's why Okur, as the perimeter player, is being guarded by either Chuck Hayes or Juwan Howard. Shot clock. 3 on the shot clock.
Battier will get it off in time, but way off the mark, and that's going to be a shot clock violation. Did not hit anything. As Tracy McGrady comes back into the ball game, he got a nice rest, but the stats unimpressive so far, but still plenty of basketball to be played for Tracy McGrady, who said that if we don't get out of the first round, it is on me. And he talked to us earlier about the fact that earlier this season he was lacking a little bit of the fitness in his game, was a little bit lacking in confidence as a result of that. But boy, in the last week of the season, he was one of the top 3 players in the NBA. Okur with the stick back, rejected. Yao Ming got a piece of that one too, out of bounds. And it's Utah basketball.
They're playing right into Yao Ming's hands. You cannot just go head-to-head here. The intimidation factor. Okur, this is where you have to have a jump hook. Akeem Olajuwon, Kevin McHale, the greatest practitioners of the shot that Billy the Hill McGill invented back in the early 60s in the streets of Los Angeles. Deron Williams continues to shine as the brightest comet in this game.
Williams knocks down the jumper to give Utah a 4-point lead. He has 6. Williams guarding his former collegiate teammate right now, Luther Head.
They're trying to isolate Tracy McGrady on this wing here. Just jump over the top of Derek Fisher, who can do nothing.
Fisher doing a nice job on him so far as Howard got a piece of that, and he turns it over. Loose ball, and that's going to be Houston basketball.
They're going to talk this one over. When the players are this vehement about the call.
Danny Crawford coming in, and yes, they are going to change it.
Yeah.
Mark Wunderlich says it's going back the other way, much to the agreement of Jerry Sloan.
Back to Derek Fisher's defense. He's outstanding, but he doesn't have the size. And so what Tracy McGrady has to do is just discipline, get right into his spot, and then just jump up over the top. The dive by Shane Battier pokes that ball out of bounds. Mark Wunderlich, terrific referee, just got turned around on the call. No nice reflection.
Okur with 10 on the shot clock. Out to Williams. He's feeling it right now. That one a little bit short, but the top offensive rebounding team in the NBA with another possession. And a 4-point lead. Fisher out top.
There's the pick and roll, trying to use.
Well, that's a tough pass. Battier gets control.
Too hard. You got to spread the floor and have better balance and timing on that attack when you turn the corner.
McGrady, nice feed to Yao Ming, and Yao Ming got fouled. Tracy McGrady already with 5 assists, despite the fact that he doesn't have a field goal yet. Affectionately named Big Sleep for his propensity to power nap. His game about to wake up, maybe. Back after this.
Introducing the all-new Jeep Patriot with fold-flat seats, flip-down liftgate speakers, and MP3 connectivity. Starting at $14,985. Choose your adventure at patriotadventure.com.
Yikes, you got the middle, but that's okay. You got Wendy's new Steakhouse Double Melt. You know how good the middle can be. Caramelized onions and mushrooms, bacon, creamy Swiss, and peppercorn sauce melted in the middle of 2 hot and juicy, fresh, never frozen beef patties. I've gone. Good move, Mr. 14B. You just landed in the best position to do what tastes right.
You're no rich prince.
Sorry. Rich Prince rewards begin at 2 kisses. To qualify, eligible. Additionally, the magic spell reserves the right to lock out the primary kiss cover from any and all. Kisses expire 6 seconds from date of pucker. All kisses are non-transferable.
Is this how your cash rewards card treats you? Introducing No Hassle Cash Rewards. Earn cash on every purchase everywhere, plus a 25% annual bonus.
Yeah, okay.
But you're just 1 kiss away. What's in your wallet?
This is the car. Manufactured by Daimler Chrysler Corporation, who partnered with Dell, who focused on making them even more efficient with managed services and infrastructure solutions, customized to work in a smarter way. Because Dell designed solutions with one company in mind. Yours, Dell.
Introducing the all-new Jeep Patriot, available trail-rated with 172 horsepower and 30 miles per gallon. Starting at $14,985. Choose your adventure at patriotadventure.com.
I'm Matt Weiner. Here's a 30 at 30 update. Barry Bonds swatted his 739th career home run in a 1-0 Giant win today. He's 16 shy of Hank Aaron. The Phillies turned the season's first triple play, a 5-4-3 job against Cincinnati in support of Cole Hamels. Not that he needed it. He struck out 15 for his first career game. And tomorrow night on ESPN, the Red Sox will go for a sweep of the Yankees, thanks in large part to David Ortiz, who knocked in 4. Sports Center after the game, ESPN News on constantly, Mark.
All right, Matt, back here at Toyota Center in Houston, the Utah Jazz with a 4-point lead. And, well, I guess the owner of the team, Larry Miller, the Utah Jazz, with a passionate speech with his players several days ago. That may have been the cure, the panacea for this Utah Jazz team. They've turned it around, though.
Mark, you never know how a call-out is going to play out. And the fact that Larry Miller did it after the game where Phoenix went up Phoenix had already clinched what they needed to do, and Phoenix still went up to Utah and won by 30 points at the Energy Solutions Arena. Larry Miller, who sits courtside, he just gets in everybody's face. Jim Gray had the story right at the top. This team sucks, and I will not stand for that. This team has responded positively since then. They've won 3 of the 4 since then, and with Deron Williams leading the way, they have been the better team in the early going of what promises to be a fabulous series with that emphatic throwdown by Carlos Boozer.
Carlos Boozer, 3rd in the NBA in points in the paint, and a pair of impressive points there. Utah's lead back up to 5. Boozer with 6. Hayes underneath. Rebounded by the Jazz, looking for a little tempo here, and here comes Deron Williams.
Very few second chance opportunities. What a touch.
Deron Williams with the layup. And the lead up to 7 points now. Under 2 minutes to play here in the first half. And who would have ever thought that Tracy McGrady at this point in the ball game would still be without a field goal?
Especially.
And it's out of bounds, Utah basketball.
Especially with all the statements that he made prior to the game. How it's on me, this is my team, I've got to get it done. And then you come out and you haven't even made a shot yet. And that's the strength of Tracy's game. He can do everything else. And he's done well in passing and defense rebounding. But his game is scoring. It's a 30-point per game playoff score, 3rd in NBA history.
Inside, and Yao Ming committing the foul on Collins. That's his first personal.
When the only guys who have a higher scoring average than you in the history of the NBA playoffs are Michael Jordan and Allen Iverson, you're a great player. And you cannot come out and in the first game, where the winner of the first game predominantly wins every series, I think it's almost 79%. Offensive foul, Boozer, a careless turnover right there.
Well, coming up on the Toyota halftime show with Matt Weiner, Kiki Vandeweghe, and Tim Legler back in the studio. Both the Bulls and the Pistons with wins at home. Barry Bonds hits home run number 739, and the Nets win north of the border at Air Canada Center. Vince Carter did not shoot the ball very well, but his team coming out with the W. I wonder if they're maybe having a little party at Vince's club that he still owns up in Toronto.
Boki Nakbar and Mikey Moore continuing to shine for the Nets.
Rafer Alston way off the mark. And here comes Williams once again.
The three-point shooting for Houston has been absolutely atrocious. 3 for 14 tonight. Just discounting Yao Ming and Tracy McGrady's abilities in the paint area.
Fisher off to Harpring. Tipped up, and another offensive rebound for the Utah Jazz, and they'll get another possession here. Fisher driving past McGrady for the layup. Derek Fisher with 3 championship rings from his days with the Los Angeles Lakers, playing inspired basketball, 6 points and 2 assists.
Leadership, what it's all about. We've seen it from Jerry Sloan, Derek Fisher, Deron Williams.
No fouls to give either way. Inside, and a foul against Paul Millsap. Yao Ming may have taken one in the chops that time.
Utah's spending a lot of time complaining and whining. That's not Jerry Sloan basketball. You got their bench players out there who are finishing up this half, so these guys are not going to be in foul trouble. The refs blow it. Hey, just look at them, express your displeasure, and get on to the next play.
Yao Ming at the free throw line, a good free throw shooter, shooting 86% on the season. He missed 32 games with a fractured leg, but during that time, Tracy McGrady and his teammates really were able to tread water and held the ship together until he got back. And during the time that Yao Ming was out, did a good job at improving his ability to catch the basketball. I'll tell you more about that in the second half. Here's Derek Fisher, 5 to go.
Need a solid possession right here to maintain your control and momentum.
Derek Fisher with the runner in the lane over McGrady, and that's going to end the first half of play. The Utah Jazz leading it by 9 after the first 2 periods. Yao Ming, the leading scorer for Houston, with 15 points on 4 of 10. But the big story here at Toyota Center, Tracy McGrady with just, well, no field goals. And here's Jim Gray.
All right, Mark, thank you very much. 6 points, 6 rebounds for Carlos Boozer. Carlos, you guys fell behind 8-0 here in the early going. What settled this team down?
You know, we stayed together and got our defense back in the game. You know, we had to do a better job of stopping them on their offensive end, and that got us back in the game. We got down the court, was able to execute, get some offensive plays, and we scored.
The owner, 1 week ago tonight, after you lost by 28, said that the team sucked. What has that done in the ensuing week to rally you guys?
The great thing about it is he came right back and gave us confidence. He said we could be as good as anybody in this playoffs, and we believed in that. Gave us great confidence and we're ready to play.
How did you keep your equilibrium? You told us today you were like a 12-year-old kid on Christmas. It's your first playoff game. How have you kept your equilibrium?
Well, I try to stay even kill all day and stay at the same level, but I mean, I'm so excited. It's my first one. It's the first time with this group. We're doing a great job. We have to continue playing good D on T-Mac and hopefully try to contain Yao a little better in the second half, and we have a good shot.
Carlos, thank you. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you very much.
Back to you, Mark.
All right, Jim, Utah looking good. Back in the playoffs for the first time since 2003, led by Boozer, their all-star here in the first half of play. And coming up after the break, it's the Toyota Halftime Show with Matt Weiner, Kiki Vandeweghe, and Tim Legler back in the studio. 42-33 at the break.
Welcome aboard Yamaha Flight 230. Our departure has been delayed, so please sit back, relax, and listen to your favorite music. If you need to stretch your legs, simply adjust your seat. And if you need to use the lavatory at any time, please feel free to do so. Thank you for traveling on the fuel-efficient twin-engine 320 horsepower SX230 high output from Yamaha. Starting at $35,999, there's no better way to travel.
Imagine a ball guaranteed to stay inflated. The Never Flap from Spalding. Inside, large nitroflake molecules prevent smaller air molecules from escaping, so the ball stays inflated 10 times longer. The Never Flap for basketballs and soccer balls from Spalding. True to the game.
For the best protection against water damage, one name says it all. Thompson's Water Seal. Waterproofer plus wood protector for the highest level of water protection guaranteed. Thompson's Water Seal and Thompson's Water Seal Advanced. The most powerful protection against water damage.
Go for the gold with the #1 movie in America. Clothing optional. Will Ferrell.
Were you on steroids? A little bit. About a half cup.
Blades of Glory. Oh, me like it. Rated PG-13.
NBA cares. This season, NBA players including Dwight Howard, Caron Butler, and Jason Terry spent time at local schools and at boys and girls clubs and shared with students the values of discipline, dedication, teamwork, and sportsmanship.
Syracuse on 3. 1, 2, 3. Syracuse!
Through basketball and fitness clinics, they taught the fundamentals of the game and stressed the importance of kids leading active, healthy, and safe lifestyles. NBA cares, combining basketball and service to the community.
It started with a simple idea. Build an automobile that takes the sheer joy of driving to a whole new level. Use advanced technologies without sacrificing fuel economy. Take advantage of a racing-inspired heritage. Provide an interior space that fulfills every need. The TSX from Acura.
Now you can lease a TSX for $299 a month for well-qualified customers.
Meet Michael Johnson, the world's fastest man. Michael holds the world 200 and 400-meter records. When he turns off the lights at night, he's in bed before the room gets dark. Still got it. Brian, what's up? Hey, Michael, how are you? Moving this quick can make you hot in a hurry. So what does the world's fastest man call for? Coors Light. Frost Brewed Coors Light. The world's most refreshing beer.
These are from Michael.
Ladies.
Hi, Michael.
Welcome to the Toyota Halftime Show.
Deron Williams already with 6 assists on the night, including, well, eventually we thought he did. He found Carlos Boozer eventually. You believe me. Matt Weiner, Tim Legler, Kiki Vandeweghe. This is the Toyota Halftime Show. Jazz with a 9-point lead in Houston in game 1 of this highly anticipated series. But the headline here so far is The third leading scorer in NBA playoff history has 1 point at the half.
All things considered, they're lucky to be down 9. But what they're doing to Tracy McGrady, they're just flooding him every area to Florida, trapping him aggressively on pick and rolls and not really giving him any daylight. I think the Rockets also are living behind the three-point line. Almost half their field goal attempts are three-pointers. That's not the kind of basketball this team needs to play. Pounded into Yao. I know he's only 4 for 10, but he still had 8 free throw attempts.
Well, you know, as you say, it is lucky that they are in the game at this point. They're lucky it's a low-scoring game. But give Utah credit. They've done a tremendous job. They played with a lot of energy. Now, they've got 2 great defensive coaches, Jerry Sloan, Jeff Van Gundy. We're going to see a defensive battle in the second half, but I do believe Tracy McGrady is going to come up big.
A couple of teams with long playoff droughts in terms of series wins. Utah +7 on the boards, +9 on the scoreboard. 3 game ones already written down on paper. Dwayne Wade and the world champion Miami Heat starting on the road this year in Chicago. Luol Deng was the story.
Yeah, he sure was. Tough matchup for the Heat. Luol Deng, 33 points, big night.
Late, Dwayne Wade with the ball in his hand, as you'd expect, finds Udonis Haslem to cut the lead to 1. It's a 3-point margin when Wade not really in his comfort zone there with a 3-pointer, especially a fade.
Not really a great shot for Dwayne Wade. Should have taken that ball to the basket, as he usually does.
So the Bulls win 96-91. 1-8 matchup in the Eastern Conference. Dwight Howard and the Magic, who played well down the stretch to get themselves in the East. Hedo Turkoglu knocks down the jumper, and the Magic down by 5. They'd been hanging around the entire game. Darko Milicic was a factor in this game and found Howard there to get the Magic within 3. But late, Richard Hamilton to Tayshaun Prince, bump and the bucket. That did it. Pistons up by 5 at that point. They win it 100-92. 800 combined games of playoff experience for this Detroit team, about what you'd expect against the Magic, who haven't been there very much.
Yeah, and it really came down to the experience. I think of the backcourt. When you look at Chauncey Billups, Rip Hamilton, these guys were in complete control in this game. I think Chauncey Billups, when the ball's in his hands, late game situations, it's about as sure as you're going to find in the NBA that he's going to make the right decision. And Rip Hamilton, with his activity on the baseline, tough matchup. Orlando's down there. They're trying to play guys like Jameer Nelson, Carlos Arroyo on him. It's just a size mismatch when Richard Hamilton comes off those picks. These guys combine for 44 points, 15 of 18 from the line, and they just know how to close you out and how to finish games. And I think that's the biggest difference between these two teams in this series, is the experience in that backcourt.
Well, you're going to talk the backcourt. I'm going to talk the job that the front court did on Dwight Howard. They really got all over him. They bumped him. They used every single trick that they could in the book, because Rasheed Wallace, Chris Webber, Antonio McDyess, they ganged this guy. They got all over him. Look at the way they bump him. They make him pass it out, and he's got to learn how to find the open guy, and then his players have to hit the open shot. And, you know, for the Orlando Magic to be successful, they're going to have to get everybody involved, and Howard's going to have to find a way to be successful.
Brian Hill will tell you, not only hitting the open man, but hitting some free throws will help as well. He was 3 of 11, and the Magic hit just 50%, 18 of their 36. That's 18 points left out there on the road in Detroit. That's not going to work. Vince Carter, he was booed. He shot 5 of 19. So why did he walk away from Toronto happy? We'll show you.
The Toyota Halftime Show is brought to you by Toyota, moving forward.
Many crew cabs on the road look like this. You wanted something with a little more meat on its bones. Sweet mercy. Introducing the all-new Tundra Crew Max. Ordinarily towing over 10,000 pounds meant eating your knees for lunch. You want a half-ton with the most legroom. For you and a meatball sub. Tasty. Available on the all-new Tundra Crew Max.
There's been a Scorcher sighting. Scorcher is back. It's a hot one.
Hey, Scorcher.
The endless pizza buffet, a cheesy wonderland of deliciosity. But not for you. You shower with a loofah. Your indulgence, the salad bar. For you are a delicate flower. A delicate flower who enjoys an occasional, a hungry delicate flower who appreciates a day. Wow, that's my kind of flower. Welcome to CC's, the endless pizza, pasta, salad, and dessert buffet for under $5. CC's, almost too good to be true.
Someone's got to put this guy in jail.
Bring it all on, kiddo. Fracture is the most intelligent thriller of the year. Rolling Stone calls it diabolically fun and beautifully intricate.
You lose everything.
Hopkins and Gosling go at each other with relish.
I don't need the gun to convict you. I'm afraid you have to, old sport.
Anthony Hopkins is at his sinister best.
Does it bother you that I call you Willie? Don't make me come across this table. Willie.
Everyone has a breaking point. Fracture, rated R. Now playing.
They fire the coals with precision, mixing sauces, marinades, and rubs in secrecy. They are barbecue fanatics in search of perfect taste. But perhaps starting with better pork is the real secret. Cargill worked with customers to create more marbled cuts of pork. With special feeds and selection techniques, we achieved the tenderness people craved and a taste as classic as those who cook it. This is how Cargill works with customers.
Every offseason, you start all over.
Nike Shox A-Rod, only at Dick's Sporting Goods.
Welcome back to the Toyota Halftime Show.
Vince Carter getting the treatment in Toronto, returning to where they used to love him, and now they don't really like him so much there.
They don't like Richard Jefferson that much either.
No, not
today. 28 points.
Game one, he had 28. The Nets get out early, up by 9 there. On the comeback, it's Jose Calderon to Chris Humphries, who finishes, get the Raptors within 6. But Vince Carter shot just 5 of 19, got his 16 points. More importantly, got his Nets a victory, 96-91, as they steal home court in that first-round series. Time for Toyota moving forward. And a return or a rematch of last year's terrific and sometimes testy first-round series between the Lakers and the Suns. Game 1 tomorrow, 3 o'clock Eastern Time on ABC. Mike Breen will call it.
The NBA playoffs on ABC this Sunday. Kobe Bryant and the Lakers facing Steve Nash and the Suns from Phoenix. Los Angeles looking to avenge a first-round loss from last season, while Amari Stoudemire returns to the NBA playoffs. Lakers Suns, 2:30 Eastern, Sunday on ABC, home of the NBA Finals.
Thank you, Mike. We will see you then. That was our Toyota Moving Forward feature. And this is Barry Bonds moving forward toward Hank Aaron. Home run number 739 gets him 16 shy of tying Aaron's all-time record, the only run a 1-0 Giants win. The Phils pulled off the Major League's first triple play of the season. A 5-4-3 job helped Cole Hamels get his first career complete game. The 15 strikeouts he had over the Reds didn't hurt either, and the Phils win that one 4-1. And tomorrow night on ESPN, the Red Sox will go for the sweep of their first meeting with the Yankees this season behind Daisuke Matsuzaka. David Ortiz knocked in 4, including that 2-run home run in the Sox 7-5 win. Yao Ming's got his 15. His running mate, though, has been MIA so far in Houston. 1 point for Tracy McGrady and a 9-point Rocket deficit.
The Toyota Halftime Show is brought to you by Toyota, moving forward. Now it's time for the McDonald's I'm Loving It highlights. That was today's McDonald's I'm Loving It highlights.
And welcome back, everyone, inside Toyota Center. First round action in the Western Conference playoffs. The Utah Jazz with a 9-point lead as we get ready for the start of the third quarter play. Hello, everybody. I'm Mark Jones, along with Hall of Famer Bill Walton, courtside. Jim Gray joining us in just a few moments. And Bill, this first round will go a long way in defining Tracy McGrady's 10-year career so far. An inauspicious beginning for him and the Rockets.
Very frustrating. It just didn't happen at all. Tracy and the rest of his Rockets were just too excited. They got off to an 8-0 start, but Tracy McGrady goes 0 for 6 from the field. A myriad of defenders did a very nice job. Gordon Juracek, Derek Fisher, Andrei Kirilenko. The three-point shooting, a couple of them went down, but 3 for 14 on the night in the first half. Yao Ming was very, very strong. Had 10 points on 4 for 10 shooting, but it was Deron Williams who was absolutely brilliant. This floor general, 8 points, 8 assists, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. He was near perfect except for 0 for 2 from the free throw line, and now we have to find out what Tracy McGrady's got in store for this second half.
Well, interesting that McGrady did not attempt a field goal in the last 6 minutes of the second period, just 1 point in the first half. And as we talked about at the top of the show, 0 for 5 in the first round in his career. Second half underway, Yao Ming underneath. Might have gotten away with a little bit of a walk, Bill, but gets the finger roll to fall.
Generally, when you take the 1.5 steps, you've got to release the ball. You can't come to a stop and then get it going again.
That's his move.
Interesting.
There's Fisher, who had a very strong second quarter for the Utah Jazz. Williams out top.
There's that pick and roll basketball. Okur, when you're the visiting team and you've got a chance to win, your start of the third quarter has to be flawless.
McGrady rising up and nails his first field goal attempt of the third quarter. That's his first attempt since 10.5 minutes left in the first half.
The Jazz shoot a great percentage in the first half, 43%. They dominate the boards, +7. They dominate the bench points. Can they sustain?
Williams had a shot blocked by Chuck Hayes, and here comes Rafer Alston. Waits for Yao Ming. With a pick and roll with McGrady. Battier wide open from downtown, and rebounded by Derek Fisher.
Tracy McGrady doesn't need a screen. I'm not sure why they just don't give him the ball in the middle of the court, put some guys on the wings, and then just let him get where he wants and rise up over the diminutive Derek Fisher.
Williams kicks it out to Boozer.
Pick and roll every single time. Whoever Yao Ming guards, that's where they're going.
7 on the shot clock. Williams rising up and methodically knocking down the jumper. Deron Williams giving Utah a 7-point lead, and Williams with 5 for 10 from the field, total of 10 points.
Deron Williams, who grew up in the Dallas area, well accustomed to playing here in Texas.
McGrady inside, knocked away. Out of bounds. It'll be Houston basketball. Chuck Hayes, the intended target on that pass. And I don't think that you see Chuck Hayes run number 44 right there. Nobody has had a more emotionally stirring day, I guarantee you, than Chuck Hayes today. His day started at 3:30 a.m. this morning. Nice pass off the inbound play. McGrady with the layup. But Hayes and his girlfriend, Nicole Anderson, got up at 3:30 this morning, went to the maternity ward at the hospital, and Anderson, his girlfriend, gave birth to Dorian Titus Hayes at 9:48 a.m. this morning. 6 pounds, 7 ounces, 19 inches long. And baby and mother are resting comfortably at home.
Congratulations to the Hayes family. What a remarkable accomplishment. Now can he get it done here? Tracy McGrady looks like a completely different player. Chuck Hayes did not come to practice this morning. Carlos Boozer hammered on the way to the hoop.
And he'll go to the free throw line. Does that mean that Van Gundy doesn't fine Hayes for missing shoot around?
That would be considered an excused absence. But Chuck Hayes, one of those special guys. And
that's the third personal foul against Alston Hayes.
With the NFL draft coming up next weekend, the football guys, they're all looking for that former basketball player. Guys like Antonio Gates of the Chargers or Tony Gonzalez of the Chiefs, who played college basketball with Jason Kidd. And this guy, Chuck Hayes, would be an unbelievable tight end. Utah does not look near as sharp right now. This is very reminiscent of what happened at the start of this game a couple hours ago.
Yao Ming with a little jump hook shot. The NFL draft you saw on the screen coming up Saturday at noon. 9 minutes to go here in the third quarter play, and A very vigorous-looking Houston Rockets team, energized team here, emerging out of the locker room in the third quarter. Boozer over Yao Ming, and there's a look at the top offensive rebounding team in the NBA doing work. Kirilenko with the putback, a 5-point advantage for the Jazz.
You're also talking about a great defensive team and a great defensive rebounding team in the Houston Rockets.
Inside for Battier, he couldn't find it. Here comes Williams.
Give Williams some space in the open floor to create. Van Gundy, obviously, his message at halftime has sunk in. We're going to have to get the report from Jim Gray as to what went down there.
Well, Boozer set a great screen on Alston, and Boozer was fouled going to the bucket by Battier. A couple of former Duke teammates going head-to-head. So we got the Illinois against Illinois thing going, as well as the Duke-on-Duke thing as well. Boozer and Battier. Battier a couple of years Boozer's senior. That's his second personal foul against Shane Battier. Boozer going to the free throw line, and Boozer, a little bit of talk about him joining Team USA. Just recently received the paperwork 3 days ago to look over the contract and perhaps play for Jerry Colangelo and his former college coach Mike Krzyzewski this coming summer.
A Boozer who was injured the first couple of years in Salt Lake City. Everybody was on him, from Larry Miller to the fans, to the media. Right now, though, he is the one who's delivering them to the promised land.
Talked about his almost unabated excitement level coming into the playoffs, getting in his first playoff series. Here's McGrady.
And when you talk about Carlos Boozer, the fact that Jimmy Buffett is playing a great concert right next door to us, you can only hope that Jimmy is singing "I Found Me a Home" for Carlos Boozer.
Nice segue, Bill. Outside now to Fisher. 15 on the shot clock. The Utah Jazz leading by 6. Williams isolated, and Tracy McGrady comes up with a pinch.
Oh, what a steal.
Took it right back. The Jazz with numbers. Boozer underneath. And he missed it.
Poor spacing. That's got to be a dunk for Carlos Boozer, just coming in after the phenomenal creativity, the result of the defensive steal of the game by Deron Williams.
Inside to Yao Ming with the turnaround, and he's off the mark.
If you're Utah, push this ball. Make Yao Ming tired. You got Boozer, you got Okur, you got Kirilenko, you got depth on the bench as your ally for the Jazz.
Another pick and roll, Okur. And he misses. Both teams with empty possessions, respectively, the last time down the floor. McGrady with the ball in his hands much of the time, off to Alston. Alston point guard in name only, as McGrady, the main playmaker. Yao Ming leaning in, and Fisher controls, body strewn across the lane.
It's time for the Jazz to start running, get some fast break opportunities.
Boozer underneath, and that's going to be a block against his former college teammate, Shane Battier. And that's the third foul now on Battier.
Wasn't that cute to hear Shane, who's a couple years older than Carlos Boozer, talk about their days together. As Carlos Boozer, he didn't commit to go to Duke. He was a very late signee. It was when Elton Brand left early. Because in those days, none of the Duke guys ever left Mike Krzyzewski. And Elton Brand was one of the first, and then Carlos Boozer said, hey, there's an opening there, I can go. Now it's just a mass exodus from every single college.
Western Conference All-Star colors. Boozer fractured his leg in February, missed 6 weeks. That in addition to the fact that he missed 49 games a season ago with a hamstring injury. Healthy and in full effect right now. Back after this.
The legend was born in 1965 in the storied swamp of Florida, where the scorching heat took a brutal toll on the Gators.
The players weren't adequately hydrated and their performance suffered.
The answer, a new carbohydrate electrolyte beverage created by University of Florida doctors.
Naturally, we called our stuff Gatorade.
From the Gators' Orange Bowl triumph in '67 to their national title in '07, and for millions of athletes in between, the legend continues.
Okay, this means war.
I can't wait to see the look on their faces.
It's so easy.
I know. Like taking candy from a baby.
Introducing the all-new Patriot, starting at $14,985. Choose your adventure at patriotadventure.com.
Love this 7-layer dip. You can't jump with dip. No, it's a 7-layer crunch wrap. 7-layer dip. Jim, wrapped up. See? It's good to go. It's good to go. It's good to go. Uh-oh.
Taco Bell's new 7-layer Crunch Wrap. Hearty beans and warm nacho cheese sauce layered with cool sour cream and guacamole. Wrapped up and good to go. To get the great taste of 7-layer dip, think outside the bun.
Uh-oh. Oh, boy.
Oh, no.
Not good. The board's asking questions. Hard questions.
About our global integration strategy.
Global integration strategy? You know, the world is flat.
Do we have a strategy for that? That's what they want to know.
Uh-oh. Boy.
Oh, no.
Not good. They're looking for innovation. A plan. A schedule. Answers.
Soon.
Yesterday. No. Oh, boy.
Oh, no.
Not good. What do we do?
This copyrighted telecast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any other form without the express written consent of the NBA.
Rockets down by 7. Tracy McGrady talking earlier about his equity stake and his responsibility with the Rockets.
I'm the only playmaker for our team. How Shane Battier gets shots, open threes in the corner, I create those shots. Luther Hare, how he get his open threes, I create those shots. When Yao have 2 guys hanging on him, it's up to me to get Yao going on offense and get him an easy bucket. If I don't do that, we're gonna struggle. So you take me off of this, where are we going? Nowhere.
I don't think Tracy McGrady, just to put that in proper context, he wasn't being immodest when he was saying that. He was basically saying, hey, I have to be that playmaker. That is my responsibility. I owe that to our team for us to be successful.
Mark, I've been doing this a long time, finishing my 17th year in broadcasting. This morning's interview that you and Jim Gray conducted with Tracy McGrady was one of the most remarkable moments I've ever gone through in my entire life. And to back up what you said, Tracy McGrady, when he gets 8 or more assists, and he's very close there right now, the Rockets are 24-2, but they have not controlled any aspect of this game yet, and the great crisp ball movement of the Jazz earning yet another trip to the line here.
They shoot more free throws than any team in the NBA at about 30 per game, as Boozer will go back to the foul line. That foul against the new father today, Chuck Hayes. Boozer goes back to the line. Jim, you want to pose a question to Bill?
Bill, you've been around, as you said, a long time. Tracy McGrady with Stephen A. Smith and then again with us today said this is his team. We talked to Jeff Van Gundy. He said, no, that's not accurate. I accept that he wants to take responsibility, but it's only one man's team. Les Alexander, who's sitting right next to you, he owns it. He's the only one around here who can do what he wants. But my question to you is, Bill, was it Larry Bird's team? Was it Dr. J's team? Was it Magic Johnson's team? Yes. Did they ever have to declare it?
No, they did not, Jim. And that is something that's totally new in the world of basketball, just like the designation of a point guard or a power forward. It used to just be basketball players, and the game was specialized in the whole nature of the individualization of the game. Tremendous defense there by Kirilenko, but he's hurt.
Kirilenko goes down under the hoop. Williams out to Fisher. It's going to be 4-on-5 at the offensive end as Kirilenko limps his way towards midcourt. And this has been a tough season for Kirilenko with respect to injuries. He's just coming back off of a broken thumb.
But back to Jim Gray's point real quick. When you've got it, you don't need to tell anybody. Tracy McGrady, his game is good enough to speak for itself.
We'll be back with more from Houston right after this.
Pedicure, $28 on debit MasterCard. Peep toe pumps to show off your pedicure, $96 on debit card. Adorable dress to go with your peep toe pumps that show off your pedicure, $150 on debit card. Yeah, right. Living in the moment, priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything you must have right now, there's debit MasterCard.
Andrei Kirilenko back in the ball game. Limp to the sideline, but he appears to be okay. This is just his 3rd game back after missing 5 games with a broken thumb. They had the rookie Ron Brewer Jr. starting in his place up until now. Utah with possession.
This is a big moment in Kirilenko's career right now. Can he get his game back? This former All-Star, this max-level contract player.
And he shot an air ball.
He's just had a disastrous season. He's lost pretty much his entire game.
Bill, it's amazing to me that he averaged this year just 6 field goal attempts per game. Why do you think that is?
He's lost focus. He's lost concentration. He's lost determination. He's allowed other people to become the stars of the team. Now, Kirilenko is not a selfish player by any stretch of the imagination. But when you have other great players, Tracy McGrady is finding it right now. But when the team right now is Boozer, is Williams, is Okur. So Kirilenko says, fine, I'll become a rebounder. I'll become the defensive force that I was so many years ago. But he just retreated into a shell, and it's very, very sad.
Boozer off the mark.
And it's his own fault. These are all mental issues that he has to address.
Utah 2 of 11 this quarter. McGrady off to Alston. Yao Ming with the rebound and fouled. Yao Ming going to the free throw line. That was the Rockets' first offensive rebound since 4 minutes left in the first quarter. That's a long time between drinks of water. One more look.
They continue to milk this screen and roll, which Tracy McGrady says, look, that just brings other defenders into my area. Now, back to the Kirilenko moment that we just talked about and the mental problems and fragility as he goes to the bench for the model of stability. Matt Harpring here. Jerry Sloan told us today that he had another player like that in his coaching career with Greg Ostertag, who was a very good player, a very talented player. And in this series between Utah and Houston, Greg Ostertag often had his finest moments. Greg Ostertag was at his best against the best, against Shaq, against Akeem, against David Robinson. But then against the other players, he would just not show up. And that was just unacceptable for the entire Jazz franchise.
Harpring lost the handle underneath off the pass from Williams. McGrady in transition. Alston with another three. And Rafer Alston, who shot the ball well from downtown on the season, misses again.
The Rockets have missed their last 8 three-point shots on the night. The Rockets tonight have had 31 missed field goals overall, and they only have 3 offensive rebounds. With a size advantage in Yao Ming, that's just unacceptable.
Boozer took the contact, didn't get the foul from Yao Ming. And back comes Alston.
Boozer's going to the weak side on that double clutch weak step far too often. Offensive foul. Wunderlich waves it off the shoulder in the chest. Easy play to call.
That's the second personal foul against Yao Ming.
You got to move around people. You can't just run right through them. Tremendous defensive stand by Okur.
We were talking about it on the way over here. Sometimes, Bill, it's very difficult to officiate the big fellas like Yao Ming and Shaquille O'Neal, two freakishly large and agile athletes.
It still has to be a game of movement, no matter your size.
And Boozer misses again. He's fallen cold here in the third quarter.
And that's why Amari Stoudemire and Tim Duncan have the best chance against the Giants of Shaq and Yao Ming.
First round playoff action here between the Rockets and the Jazz. Tracy McGrady nails it as McGrady tries to get rid of that insidious streak of 5 straight first-round losses for him in his career. Has never seen the second round of the playoffs. Williams off the mark and great hustle by Harpring.
One of those rebounds that everybody mistimes, except the guy who comes flying in so late behind the play, and it just happens to come out of the Motordrome right into Harpring's hands.
4-point lead for Utah.
McGrady is a completely different player here in the second half.
Off the pin down over Fisher, and here comes Tracy McGrady. He has awakened from his hibernation, and all but one of his points have come here in the third quarter. McGrady with 12.
The sense that they had to get Yao Ming going early on, I think, hurt Tracy McGrady.
Williams into the paint. And a very auspicious role for Deron Williams to quiet the crowd here.
I think when you watch Deron Williams play, you're not totally blown away because he doesn't have that explosiveness that so many of the huge stars in this league have. But when you get up next to him,
Battier makes it a 1-point game.
Now it's Deron Williams' time to settle everything down. But his level of physical fitness, Deron Williams, is truly remarkable. He can play all day with the highest level players.
Okur from downtown, and now the Houston Rockets with a chance to take the lead with 2:05 to go here in the third quarter. McGrady getting in rhythm through the legs. Might have been better off shooting that. It's a 3-0 for the Jazz. And Fisher blew the layup. Oh, my goodness. He missed everything. And Yao Ming never crossed midcourt.
There's a time for us to let go. There's a time for holding on. There's a time of our life.
If you think you're going to destroy my planet, you are nuts.
Wait, I'm on your side now.
Okay, guys, you're on in 3, 2.
Back on Baseball Tonight with John Crutchfield.
Fantastic Four, Rise of the Silver Surfer. And Baseball Tonight, this season's heavy hitters.
Later on SportsCenter, full NBA playoff coverage, including a nail-biter in Chicago, plus a bumpy night under the lights in Phoenix, and a good look at Notre Dame's next Golden Boy on SportsCenter next.
Getting more out of your DirecTV just got a whole lot easier. More style. More action. More family fun. Great tunes. More movie madness. Choice Extra from DirecTV. Over 30 extra channels for as low as $5 more per month. Upgrade today. Go to DirecTV.com or call 1-800-531-5000.
Nothing packs as much baseball action as MLB Extra Innings Superfan, only on DirecTV. MLB Extra Innings Superfan is the only way to get up to 10 games per week in HD. The new Strike Zone channel takes you directly to the biggest moments wherever they happen. And Game Mix stacks the deck by putting up to 8 live games on a single screen. It's time to trade up. Add Superfan to your MLB Extra Innings subscription. Just 4 easy payments of $9.75. Order now.
ESPN's presentation of the NBA playoffs, brought to you by Jeep. Express your freedom in the one and only Jeep 4x4. See your local dealer today. Taco Bell, think outside the bun. And IBM, what makes you special?
Back at the Toyota Center here in Houston, I'm Mark Jones along with Bill Walton and Jim Gray. Houston has taken a 1-point lead. And Bill, how many times do you see a blown 3-0?
This is Derek Fisher's 118th career NBA playoff game. He missed the last 2 years after the championship run, and you turn a 3-0 into a dunk for the other team. That is a game breaker, and for this president of the NBA Players Association, that's the kind of thing that can just haunt you forever. You have to get through it right now. Somebody needs to get Derek Fisher's spirits back up. Who's going to be able to come with a competitive response for the Jazz?
The big story here in the third quarter is the emergence of Tracy McGrady at the offensive end. 5 of 6 from the field after scoring just 1 point in the first half. 6 on the shot clock for Utah. Here's Fisher.
The Jazz are deep into their bench.
Millsap went high for the rebound. And you're looking once again at the top offensive rebounding team in the NBA with another extra possession.
Well, Jerry's throwing up off the bench saying, we got to have movement, guys. We can't just go one-on-one. Our game is not off the dribble.
Boozer over to Fisher, 6 on the shot clock, and
offensive.
That's going to be a foul against Utah.
Well, Derek Fisher with the reverse pivot into the defender who's chasing his man. It's a very good call. If you're going to execute that effectively, you've got to do it a full step as Deron Williams sits down, a full step before that defender comes in to the screener space. Dan Crawford right on that call accurately.
Houston in the midst of a 13-4 run in the last 4.5 minutes. Hayes out top.
Harpring doing a nice job defensively on Luther Head, who hasn't had any sort of...
That's going to be a reaching foul against Paul Millsap. And here's a look at your NBA calendar. Playoff action coming up. TNT Sunday tomorrow. Washington at Cleveland, Denver at San Antonio, followed by Golden State at Dallas. It all starts at 12:30 Eastern. Then ABC tomorrow has the Lakers at Phoenix, a rematch of the first round in last year's Western Conference playoffs between those two teams. That series went 7 last year. And then on NBA TV on Tuesday, New Jersey at Toronto. The Raptors trying to rebound from the defeat today. McGrady with a great ball fake on Kirilenko. Oh! T-Mac is back.
Classic example of what happens when you take the last game of the season off.
Fisher missing.
But Derek Fisher is trying to shoot his way back into the good graces after the blown layup.
22 seconds to go in the period. About a 7-second difference between the shot clock and game clock.
Everything has changed for the Houston Rockets because of this man with the ball. Clear out of his way.
He's giving it to everybody. And he gave a little to Kirilenko. Tracy McGrady dealing spades right now. Millsap with a nice feed. Mutombo with the block. 2 on the clock. And it's not going to count. It wouldn't have counted. But the Houston Rockets finding a burst of energy led by their leader. He said it's his team. He said if they don't advance out of the first round, it's on him. He said he's never had a supporting cast this talented. Well, Tracy McGrady's game living up to the words right now as the Houston Rockets finish the quarter on an 18-4 sprint. Back with the closing period right after this.
Vaughn into the windup in his first offering. Just a bit outside.
It was a perfect strike, and you know it. Of course, if this chump were watching in DirecTV HD, he'd have made the right call. It's broadcast in 1080i, which means it's cool. Now, let's see how this bruise looks in HD.
Vaughn into his motion and the pitch. Uh-oh.
For the most sports in HD, you gotta get DirecTV.
Why live with athlete's foot? The itching, the burning. Lotrimin Ultra treats most athlete's foot in just 1 week's use. New Lamisil Defense, 4 long weeks. But Lotrimin Ultra is so powerful, nothing cures faster. Lotrimin Ultra, the 1-week killer cure.
Okay, this means war.
I can't wait to see the look on their faces.
It's so easy.
I know. Like taking candy from a baby.
Introducing the all-new Patriot, starting at $14,985. Choose your adventure at patriotadventure.com. Introducing IHOP anywhere you want it. IHOP and Go. Now you can call ahead and pick up anything from IHOP's incredible menu. IHOP and Go. Call in and carry out a big smile.
They're called tiendas. Thousands of tiny storefronts across Central America that sell food and goods to millions. But delivering refrigerated food to them takes a different approach than for big stores. So Cargill built a creative distribution system, equipping salespeople with icebox scooters and handheld computers to call on the tiendas and deliver the small but essential inventory they need when they need it. This is how Cargill works with customers.
When it comes to choosing a motor oil, there are hundreds of choices. When it comes to choosing a filter, there's only one. Go to Fram.com to get $5 off your favorite oil and Fram filter, and see for yourself why Fram is America's #1 oil filter. It's not just another oil change, it's a Fram oil change.
Can I take my break now?
Back at the Toyota Center, the prevailing sentiment is that it's all good in Tracy McGrady's neighborhood. A lot of number ones up there as the Rockets outscore the Jazz 26-11 in the period. In tonight's Nestle's Crunch Stat Track. Look at some of the cogent and pertinent numbers on the evening. Boy, the Rockets really caught fire and did a better job on the glass, too, Bill, in that period.
Tracy McGrady was absolutely outstanding. The bench points heavily in favor of the Jazz. But the Jazz fell apart in that third quarter. And that's the critical time. You're trying to win a road playoff game. Neither of these teams have done much in the playoffs in the last 10 years since their all-time players have retired. But the Jazz in the third quarter, 4 for 22 from the field, 4 turnovers and only 11 points. That won't get it done.
Boozer over Yao Ming and Battier.
That's the strong finish that Boozer needs every time. That'll be set up more by his waiting on the perimeter a little bit longer instead of getting underneath the basket and being forced to double clutch.
You saw those numbers on your screen a moment ago. The Rockets closing hard in the first and third quarters. Battier off the mark. Been a quiet second half offensively for Battier. But he does so many other things to round out his game.
Battier is like Steve Nash and Magic and Russell. The stats mean absolutely nothing. It's only about the winning.
Millsap fouled by Battier, and he'll go to the foul line for a pair of foul shots. Paul Millsap, the second-round pick out of Louisiana Tech, shooting 67% from the free throw line of the season, has an older brother, John, who this year was in a CBA All-Star. And here's a guy that, Bill, gets double-doubles and really doesn't have plays called for him per se.
He's a fierce competitor, and with Utah being noted for their player development, Kevin O'Connor, the strength and conditioning coach, all the guys in terms of getting these guys to ever higher levels, this guy Millsap has got a brilliant career ahead of him.
Don't forget, folks, this is just the beginning. Tomorrow on ABC, Game 1 between the Lakers and the Suns from Phoenix. Coverage begins with the GMC NBA Sunday Countdown at 2:30 Eastern Time. Yao Ming underneath, working against Boozer. Had it knocked out of bounds.
On that Suns game tomorrow, and for the Suns' playoff hopes, will Amari Stoudemire and Boris Diaw bring the level of tenacity and intelligence needed to win the championship?
Now think about the Amari Stoudemire that averaged some 37 points a game against the San Antonio Spurs a couple of years ago in the playoffs. Yao Ming stripped underneath, and now the Jazz with a chance to tie. Boozer was open.
The Jazz aren't spreading the floor well enough when they're running out with an advantage numerically.
Williams had it knocked away, and it's stripped by the Rockets out of bounds. Houston basketball. Deron Williams playing in front of family members from Dallas, just a few hours from here. Said that his mother, his wife, and his son at the ball game here tonight.
Deron, who lives in the Dallas area in the offseason, went to some Maverick playoff games last year. They went all the way to the finals. Said it just eventually just got too much, too emotional, and he just couldn't do it. He had to go home and watch it on television. Obvious foul on Harpring.
When you knock down Yao Ming, that says a lot about how much force you're packing with your hit. Matt Harpring has the foul called on him. That's his second personal.
But Yao Ming, who has done so much for the NBA in just 5 seasons now, the new venture announced by the NBA where they're going to seek an outside investment of $200 million in what's going to turn out to be a $2 billion project in the expansion of the NBA in China. The NBA, that great partnership where this year alone, the NBA sold 400 million NBA licensed products during this season, and the league is expecting that to increase by 50% next year alone.
Harpring off the screen, knocks down the jumper. The lead back to just 2 for the Houston Rockets. This is Game 1 from Toyota Center. I'm Mark Jones along with Bill Walton and Jim Gray. Houston Rockets, the number 5 seed. They do have home court against the Utah Jazz, the 4 seed. Yao Ming caught it in rhythm and knocked down the jumper. Yao with 26 in the ball game. McGrady next in line with 17.
More of the quick hitting attack that Yao Ming needs to get to. He doesn't have a quickness or mobility advantage over these guys.
Harpring on the baseline, and Harpring now with a couple field goals in a row.
And finally, for the first time in the game, both teams playing well at the same time.
Here's Lutherhead. Lutherhead has been a great fourth quarter closer for the Rockets all year. Alston into the paint.
Tremendous defense by the Jazz.
But back to Juwan Howard. Howard missed the little jump hook.
Millsap made that all possible, deflecting that ball. The patience. They just let Rafer Alston do whatever he wanted. The indecision by Rafer. Just offensive foul on Harpring, throwing Battier to the deck.
And much to the protestations of Matt Harpring, that is his third personal foul.
NBA playoff basketball. There is nothing like it. The emotions, the mental challenges, the guys rising and following like the tide.
Little pick and roll in the strip on Alston. Here comes Williams. A 3-on-2 for the Jazz. Back out to Giricek, running to the three-point line. And that's one of the changes, Bill, that you see in basketball these days. It's no longer John Wooden style, hit 45 degrees in for the layup. It's flare out to the three-point line.
Or John Stockton, Karl Malone get to the free throw line, come to a stop. The Jazz, it was two very glaring breakdowns. Millsap again with tremendous defense. This guy can play, Paul Millsap.
Caught on the foul that time, whistled by Tony Brothers. The Houston Rockets with a tenuous 2-point lead when we come back.
Bye bye, Miss American Pie.
Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. With just good old boys
Drinking whiskey and rye, singing bye bye, Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Singing bye bye, Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Singing bye bye, Miss American Pie.
Chris Johnson has a gift.
You see things before they happen.
Now,
You could prevent a major catastrophe.
he'll discover what you can do when you know what's next.
Life is supposed to be a surprise.
That would be nice. Rated PG-13 this Friday.
The middle is now the best place to be. It's Wendy's new Steakhouse Double Melt. Caramelized onions and mushrooms, bacon, creamy Swiss, and peppercorn sauce melted in the middle of two hot and juicy, fresh, never frozen beef patties. Get in the middle of one today at Wendy's and do what tastes right.
It's actually illegal to pick those. It's a deer. Wait here. Hey, buddy. How are you?
We're good.
You're so awesome.
Yeah, I know. Let's go pitch a tent.
Powerful odor and wetness protection. Right Guard Sport. Never get caught off guard.
Show your love for the NBA by wearing what the pros wear.
Oh, where did he come from?
You can personalize any team jersey with any name or number you want. So log on to NBAstore.com now and choose any player from any team.
You believe what you just saw.
It's the perfect way to show your style, on or off the court. NBAstore.com. We've got it all. One store, every team.
Matt Weiner with a SportsCenter 30 at 30 update. Barry Bonds now 16 homers from the hammer. Number 739 cleared the fences today. The only run in a 1-0 Giant win over Arizona. Bonds at 739. The Red Sox will go for a sweep tomorrow night of the Yankees on ESPN behind Daisuke Matsuzaka. David Ortiz knocked in 4 in the win today. And in the NBA, the Bulls beat the Heat behind a career playoff high 33 from Luol Deng. Shaq and Dwayne Wade in foul trouble throughout. SportsCenter right after the game. ESPN News 24/7.
All right, thanks a lot. A look at the matchups in the Eastern Conference in the first round. And speaking with Doc Rivers, coach of the Celtics, a couple days ago, he was saying the one wild card might be LeBron James and Cleveland. He kind of likened it to Michael Jordan, that one breakout game he had against the Celtics where he had some 63 points. You know LeBron is capable of doing something like that. You just don't know when exactly it's going to happen.
Well, Dr. Rivers certainly has a lot of time on his hands right now, but Cleveland has a very clear path to the conference finals.
You think it's that easy?
Washington has no chance. I mean, their two best players are not playing, and they couldn't beat them with their two best players. So that is a gimme. Now, the second round, you're facing New Jersey or Toronto. That series is far from over. Toronto will play much better. Chris Bosh, though, has to learn how to start these games more efficiently. And then Cleveland will have a home court advantage. And a home court advantage, the deeper you go in the playoffs, the more impressive it is and more powerful of a force as Matt Harpring has continued to play just fabulous basketball throughout this game. That's 12 points on the night for Matt.
In addition to 6 rebounds, doing it at both ends and doing a nice job on defense. Here's Howard out top. Approaching 8 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter of play. Yao Ming with good position. Good ball rotation. Alston finally hits a three. Rafer Alston shooting 36% from downtown in the season. Gives Houston a 5-point advantage. He has 9.
All set up because nobody can slow down Yao Ming. The automatic double team, which is not Jerry Sloan style defensively, just creates that offense. Harpring trying to get it back on this end.
Double team on Harpring. Williams had to go halfway down and out. And here come the Rockets. Let's go to Jim Gray. Jim?
Mark, I spoke to Yao before the game, and he said we had a serious problem finishing games at the end of last season in the playoffs. He said that is our mission here this year. In the last 7 minutes of the game, we gave away a lot of games, particularly in that Dallas series. He said it's not fixed yet. It won't be fixed until we accomplish and win a series and go on an advance. He also said it's about trust in the final 7 minutes. It's not 5-on-1. It's 5-on-1. It's not 1-on-1. We must remember that, and we must correct this problem.
Yeah, Yao, Jim, referring to a couple of years ago in the playoffs when the Rockets took a 2-0 lead against the Dallas Mavericks. Won those 2 games in Dallas, in fact, but then eventually lost that series in 7 hard-fought games. Here's Bruiser.
One of the all-time collapses by the Houston Rockets. It was right after that series that Les Alexander, sitting at our right, gave Jeff Van Gundy a serious contract extension, trying to calm things down here in the Energy City, 4th largest city in our country.
McGrady double team. They're trying to take the ball out of his hands. Here's Luther Head losing the handle. 4 on the shot clock. Not the way they drew it up, but he counts. That was no Picasso on offense. Not exactly precise. But Luther Head caps it with a 3-ball to give Houston an 8-point lead.
Luther Head, who, like Deron Williams, each missed 2 3-pointers in that championship college game against North Carolina a few years back. But this is Deron Williams at his best.
His former teammate.
He doesn't have the long range, and maybe he never will. Because you don't really want your point guard jacking up threes. But to get into that 18-foot area, to be able to rise above and knock it down, he's flawless at that.
Kiricek with the turnaround. McGrady. Tough shot over Kiricek.
Jerry Sloan is saying, pace, get it going faster. We're playing too slow.
Utah Jazz down by 6. Here's Boozer. Rebounded by Harpring. Another offensive rebound.
Find Deron Williams and reset.
There was no reset on the shot clock. 4 on the shot clock for Williams.
But that ball hit the rim. That jumper did.
It appeared to.
Well, there's been a history of clock malfunctions and misuse in this Utah series. 94 up in Utah when they never even started the clock.
Howard off the mark.
And Hakeem Olajuwon at the end of the game, which Houston was able to fortunately win. Hakeem Olajuwon said, I want an explanation.
Hey, the shot clock guy had an excuse. He said, I got caught up watching the game. Great game going on here. I don't think we'll have the same problem, though. Back after this.
Fighters from the Contender Seasons 1 and 2 travel across the Atlantic to fight 6 of the UK's best. The Contender Challenge UK vs. USA. The 6-part series continues Tuesdays at 9 on ESPN.
Later on SportsCenter, full NBA playoff coverage, including a nail-biter in Chicago, plus a bumpy night under the lights in Phoenix, and a good look at Notre Dame's next Golden Boy on SportsCenter next.
So, you've been going out, huh?
Big parties, music, pretty ladies. Son, we need to talk about protection.
Dad, I'm 26.
Yeah, I know. But you're never too grown up for your old man to give you one of these.
Oh, man. Dad, thanks.
Every Coors Light can has a protective liner to lock in that refreshing frost-brewed taste.
You can never be too careful.
Frost-brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
I'm about to put Tabasco sauce in my eyes. We are filming a pseudo-porn.
Oh, there it is. Bad Girls, a new series on Fuse. Being bad never looked so good. The insane stunts and crazy antics begin Tuesday, April 24th at 10, followed by an all-new episode of The Whitest Kids You Know, only on Fuse, channel 339.
ESPN's presentation of the NBA playoffs, brought to you by Chevy and American Revolution, and Paramount Pictures' new film, Next, on April 27th, rated PG-13.
Well, Clyde Drexler no longer on Dancing with the Stars, but part of his legacy, the NBA World Championship banner, the second one, high above the rafters here. Time for the Chevy game track. A tough start, Bill, for Tracy, but he got on track late.
Only 1 point in the first half, 0 for 6. Second half, a completely different player. He's got 16 points already. Plenty of time to go. Yao Ming, monster game, 26 points, pounded the glass. Deron Williams, 14 points, 9 assists. 9 rebounds, soon to be a triple-double here, but the numbers have not been enough for Deron Williams. In the second half, he's only got 6 points and 1 rebound, 3 assists. He was absolutely brilliant in the first half with 8, 8, and 6 points, rebounds, and assists.
Williams swinging around weak side. Fisher with 10 on the shot clock inside to Harpring. Harpring had it partially blocked by McGrady. Tracy McGrady doing it at the defensive end. And a nice feed. Hayes had it blocked, and they're going to call that goaltending.
Utah is not a one-on-one team. They're a motion team, execution of the fundamentals. Deron Williams can play one-on-one, but that's not Matt Harpring's game. That's not Carlos Boozer or Memo Okur's game. And Kirilenko, he can't even get in the game. That's how far he has sunk.
Williams out top. Harpring with a good feed to Okur, and that's going to be a foul against Chuck Hayes. Ahmed Okur from Turkey will go to the foul line. Well, folks, get your fantasy fix through the NBA playoffs. Log on to NBA.com to play Drive to the Finals, presented by Autotrader.com, for a chance to win $25,000 towards the purchase of a car. It's fun, it's easy, it's free, and only on NBA.com. Okur shoots 77% from the foul line,
which is amazing that he's not a lot better than that. And 77% is a nice percentage, but this guy has such a touch, and it's not as if he's spending a lot of time working on his shot blocking. Utah only 7 for 13 from the line tonight.
He's been living on the perimeter and missed both free throws, although Okur, to his credit, has made several, about half dozen big fourth quarter shots this year for the Utah Jazz. Still plenty of time left for Utah, but down by 8.
Mark, the turnaround in field goal percentage has been remarkable. Tracy McGrady largely responsible. Biggest lead of the night for the surging Houston Rockets, and the Jazz are in big trouble right now.
He has the eye of someone right now that is determined to make it out of the first round. Harpring on the baseline, rebounded by Hayes. Houston in the midst of a 13-4 run, leading by 11. They have emerged out of the locker room here in the second half as an entirely different team. The countenance, the look is all different, especially from McGrady. Was he taking a three-pointer? That might be 3 foul shots.
And the Tony Brothers referee right there holds up the 3 fingers for the 3-point shots. Wonderlic comes over to talk, but Tracy enjoying this immensely.
You know, the big part with him is that he has been healthy this year. And for more on McGrady, let's go to Jim.
Mark, when we spoke to Tracy McGrady this morning, he said he shut everything down. The cell phone is not on. The BlackBerry and the text messaging is off. All mobile phones, everything is off. No tickets, no requests, no friends. It was all from your question when you said, who's gotten in touch with you to try and help you through this? Who's given you advice? He said, no advice. They can't get me. There's no way to get me. My teammates can get me if they need me. My coaching staff knows where I am. My wife is handling everything else, and don't bother calling her because I'm not going to get the request. I'm shutting it all down. This is all that matters is what's on the court.
You can't even find him with MapQuest right now, Jim Gray.
And that's good. I admire them. And the Jazz inability to defend the shooting guards all season long has come back to haunt them. Defensive 3-second call by Dan Crawford. But Tracy McGrady, who's a two-time scoring champion, one of the rare scoring champions who's ever been traded the same year he won the scoring championship, will he be able to continue this magical run? Now, the Jazz have already given up 3 50-point games this season to shooting guards. Michael Redd, 57 points. Kobe Bryant, 52 points. Gilbert Arenas, 51 points. So until they learn how to solve that problem of defending these great scoring machines, and Jeff Hornacek, that was his job. But that could do that.
Guarding those guys isn't a unique problem for just Utah, though. In fairness to the Jazz, right?
But if Utah wants to get back to the championship level, and that's where Kirilenko could really come and be a factor. But
that's where he used to be a big factor.
He is just dazed and confused right now.
12-point deficit staring Utah in the face right now with 3 on the shot clock. Boozer had it stripped away by Chuck Hayes. And it's a 3-on-2 for the Rockets in transition. Great ball movement, head with the layup.
And Jerry Sloan can only stand helplessly on the sideline with his hands in his pockets and call yet another play. But if the Jazz continue to try to dribble through this solid defense of the Rockets, they're not going to have a chance. It's got to be with ball movement.
The Jazz offense has been disconcerted and discombobulated here in the second half. Boozer is going to be the beneficiary of a foul call against Houston. Battling Chuck Hayes underneath. That is the third personal foul against Chuck Hayes.
Carlos
Not in the
Boozer
penalty.
and his wife, who already have one wonderful child, are expecting twins this August. So congratulations to the Boozer family.
This Utah team has made a lot of trips to the maternity ward of late. Not only Boozer, his turn coming up once again, but Lametta Curry and his lovely wife had a baby girl, 9 pounds and several ounces just last month. And Masha, the wife of Andrei Kirilenko, they had a baby boy 2 weeks after that. These guys don't even look tired. They're getting sleep in spite of that.
Jim Gray hit it at the top of the broadcast. The confidence level of this Jazz team. They had a very nice spurt from 6 minutes into the first quarter through the first half. Other than that, they have looked like they don't believe they can get it done. It's Chuck Hayes just sending it all back.
A defiant look etched across the countenance of McGrady as he made the block on Harpring. Now at the offensive end, they doubled team him. Rafer Alston to Luther, head for 3. That would have really taken the roof off the Toyota Center here. But still a 14-point lead for the Houston Rockets, who trailed at the half. Okur for 3. They have not been able to work their magic from downtown tonight, especially in the, they are next to last in 3-point shooting in the league this year.
That's not their game. Yeah. And they don't have the low post presence to draw teams in defensively to free up the 3-point line. The Jazz have missed their last 8 3-point shots. And Houston, granted, is the league's #1 opponent's field goal shooting or defensive team. But the Utah Jazz have shot 21% in this half.
A stark contrast to the first half of play. Knocked out of bounds. It'll be Utah basketball. But this is playoff time, money time, winning time. Big Papa right there. He's a new dad. He's happy about a lot of things. And Tracy McGrady, the look of a guy who wants to get out of the first round. Back with more after this.
Head to the side, seat back low. When you see me ride away, I'm in my Chevy ride slow. I'm in my Chevy ride slow.
dry, homie. I'll trade you.
Chevy Impala SS, an American revolution.
Well, the Verizon Wireless Family Share Plan just got bigger, so I signed us up. Now you can IM and send text, pics, and flicks messages to anyone on any network as much as you want.
But we do that already.
Yeah, but now we can afford for Mom to quit her second job. Hola!
Now get unlimited IM, text, pics, and flicks to anyone in the U.S. on any network with the new Family Share Plan. Plus, buy one Samsung and choose another of equal or lesser value free. Verizon Wireless.
The limeade at Sonic is so unique. It's kind of like the corn dog of beverages. Just because it's unique. It's like the Coney of fountain drinks. What does conies and corn dogs have anything to do with limeade? I'm explaining an analogy to you. Do you know what that is, an analogy?
Yeah,
okay.
It's before digital.
Wait.
Cranberry limeade. Sonic's got it, others don't. Only at Sonic can you get a refreshing cranberry, cherry, strawberry, or classic limeade, because Sonic is your ultimate drink stop.
What do you like best about being up here? Well, that's easy. I love the view. I love seeing all the places people had to go. I love being part of the company that helps those people get there. I love the fact that we're up here looking out over everyone down there. Kind of like angels, but instead of wings, we got a blimp. What do you like best?
I like seeing all the games. And all that stuff you said, too.
Innovative thinking up here so you can get there. Goodyear. Get there.
The NBA playoffs on ABC this Sunday. Kobe Bryant and the Lakers facing Steve Nash and the Suns from Phoenix. Los Angeles looking to avenge a first-round loss from last season, while Amari Stoudemire returns to the NBA playoffs. Lakers Suns, 2:30 Eastern, Sunday on ABC, home of the NBA Finals.
And there's a look at the Western Conference matchups. As you just heard, tomorrow on ABC, it's the Phoenix Suns against the Los Angeles Lakers. Last year, the Lakers were up 3-1 in that series, Bill, and were a Tim Thomas jump shot away from winning that series. But somehow you get the feeling that it's not the same type of threatening Los Angeles team. What are your thoughts?
Lakers could not get the rebound. They're not a good rebounding team. Their big guys do not get the job done. Kwame Brown, Andrew Bynum have so far to go. And last year, Amari Stoudemire and Kurt Thomas didn't even play, and Phoenix was still able to beat them in 7. But this game here tonight, this was a 2-point game, 65-63 with 8.5 to go. Houston has gone on a 15-3 run since then. And the Rockets are winning this game because they've got plus 21 points from behind the three-point line, and they're plus 9 from the line, where the Jazz are barely above 50%.
Boy, Harpring has really given Utah a boost off the bench. Matt Harpring, who averages about 12 points a game on the season, has 14, but his work at the other end of the floor has been invaluable for the Jazz as well. A 12-point lead for the Rockets, under 2 minutes to go. A double team on McGrady again.
Lack of playoff experience has really hurt the Jazz tonight. This franchise has not won a playoff series in 7 years. They haven't been in the playoffs in 4 years since John Stockton and Karl Malone were there. 7 of the 13 players are in the NBA playoffs for their very first time. And what the experience teaches you, Mark, is how hard it is. And Tracy McGrady
rising up over Fisher, but missing that time. And the Rockets, 3-ball by Rafer head. That was halfway down and out, and that's going to be a foul. And it's going to go against Matt Harpring. Well, coming up next on ESPN Sports Center with John Anderson and Steve Levy. The Bulls winning Game 1 against the Miami Heat, the defending champs. Clausen plays a Notre Dame spring game in college football, and Barry Bonds continuing his seemingly invariable, inexorable march towards usurping Hammer and Hank on the home run charts.
Wouldn't you think that the Miami Heat would have a better chance to win if Shaq got the ball more?
He came out smoking in the first half and didn't seem to get as many touches in the third quarter and fourth quarter. Of course, his foul troubles continued to haunt him in the second half.
But he had 2 points and 1 rebound in the second half.
There's Fisher. Derek Fisher. That's a three-pointer. The lead down to 9. 1 minute and 4 seconds to go in Game 1 between the Utah Jazz and the Houston Rockets.
If the Jazz aren't going to foul here and make the Rockets knock down free throws, they're not going to have enough time to win this game. It seems as if they've already capitulated.
Yao Ming working against LaCour. Now had a good look at it. 45 seconds to go.
Hardest shot for a right-handed post player to turn into the middle like that. And Okur continues to have trouble sticking a fork in it.
Fisher with the step back three. Derek Fisher with another three-pointer. He came into this game in the midst of a horrendous shooting slump, but he shot his way out of it in this one. 6-point lead.
But it will come back to that 2 fast break opportunities. 1 of 3 on 0 where Derek Fisher missed a breakaway layup. Oh, that's a hard foul there by Boozer. The other one was they had a 3-on-1.
Yeah.
And Deron Williams threw it out to Gordon Juricek, who was running away from the basket to the three-point line, and he bricked that one, and there was no recovery. Van Gundy gets this critical first game victory.
Bill, since they went to the new 4 of 7 extended format in the first round, 78% of the game 1 winners have gone on to win the series. So you see the pertinence, the importance of game 1 in the big picture. Back with more from Houston after this.
We had the local rental car game locked up until they moved in. In-car navigation systems. We got an in-hand navigation system called a map. No, you can't pick up a car here and drive out of state. You planning a bank heist? Airline miles, hotel points? Who do you think we are, Hertz?
Hertz is in the neighborhood. With over 1,000 locations, competitive rates, we'll come and get you too. It's another reason why we're Hertz and they're not.
New on DVD and Blu-ray disc. He has 3 hours to change the past.
He killed her 4 days ago.
Yeah, that's one theory.
And catch a killer.
Brace yourselves, you're about to witness a murder.
To stop a disaster. From Jerry Bruckheimer, producer of Pirates of the Caribbean, and Tony Scott, director of Enemy of the State.
I got him! Watch the traffic.
Denzel Washington.
You think you know what's coming? You don't have a clue.
Deja Vu. Own it this Tuesday on DVD and Blu-ray disc.
Back in Houston at Toyota Center, and a look at the upcoming games next week on ESPN2 and ESPN. Raptors Nets, that'll be game 3. Bulls Heat, Mavericks Warriors. And then on Saturday, it's the Spurs in Denver and the Rockets in Salt Lake City, Utah. I'm Mark Jones along with Bill Walton and Jim Gray courtside. Tracy McGrady went down a little bit hard after the last sequence. And the good news is McGrady has stayed healthy for most of the year. And a good part of his success in being able to stay healthy, he's making those weekly visits sometimes down to Waco, Texas to visit Dr. John Patterson. Does a little chiropractic work on him with a low amplitude machine, low frequency machine, aligning his spine, keeping that back and core area strong. And Tracy told me that the unorthodox medicinal approach by Dr. Patterson has actually had him rediscover his formerly fallen arches. His feet are better, Bill, and I know you know a lot about the foot issue.
It starts with the back. You have to have the core strength to keep that back in proper alignment. If your feet aren't happening, it's the whole body is totally interrelated. And as we're seeing once again, the great player theory holding true, that the team with the best players, they win. And that's been Tracy McGrady and Yao Ming tonight. And Utah is only going to win because they don't have the matchup capabilities against McGrady and Yao Ming. Their success has got to be based on the team game, on the execution, on the superior physical fitness, the depth, the rebounding. And when you get nothing out of Andrei Kirilenko, when you get missed free throws, when you get missed layups, it's just not going to happen.
Don't forget, Sports Center is coming up next. A busy afternoon and evening in the NBA with first-round playoff action in the Eastern and Western Conference getting underway. John Anderson and Steve Levy in the studio. Williams knocks down the second. The story of this game, the slow start by Tracy McGrady. He had just 1 point in the first half, but he exploded. He detonated with 22 points here in the second half. And Yao Ming was able to carry the offensive burden in the first half of play. Ming with 26 so far. Back to Houston right after this. back in Toyota Center. Sports Center coming up next. The wrap-up of a busy day in the NBA. The Bulls holding off the defending champs, the Miami Heat, in Game 1. Shaq with a big first half. Had 17 points, but they kept him in check in the second. Notre Dame football report. And a lot more on Sports Center immediately following the game. Battier to inbound for the Rockets.
Throw it in high. Yao Ming's a tremendous free throw shooter in the high 80s. And if you can't get the ball to Yao Ming, that means you don't want to get it to him. But he presents an enormous target.
Yao Ming with the sure-handed catch, and talking earlier about the fact as Harpring fouls out, Yao Ming did a lot of work to improve his ability to catch those passes during his rehab for the leg injury. Keith Jones, the team's head strength and conditioning coach and VP of operations, was throwing footballs and tennis balls at Yao Ming from very close range to get his reaction time and his dexterity down. Yao Ming feels that's helped him a lot, especially when it comes to catching the ball, hanging on to it where it counts.
But Yao Ming will go down in history as one of the great big men free throw shooters. Jerry Sloan takes yet another timeout. The free throw shooter, Jack Sikma, was the best of the big men. The only 7-footer to ever lead the NBA in free throw percentage.
Well, Yao Ming and Tracy McGrady doing a lot of the heavy lifting for the Houston Rockets. A look at the Western Conference brackets. Dallas Mavericks taking on Golden State. Dallas, the leaders in the NBA in overall wins this year. They'll have home court throughout the playoffs. Tomorrow on ABC, starts at 2:30. Phoenix against the Los Angeles Lakers. Steve Nash saying recently that he feels this is his best team. This is his best chance to win an NBA championship. And when you look at what they've done this year, getting off to the slow start, getting Amari Stoudemire back, and hey, let's not understate what a good coaching job Mike D'Antoni has done this year for Phoenix.
Mike D'Antoni, who saved basketball from the misery and drudgery and buggery of Knicks Heat in the 90s. All of a sudden here, Mike D'Antoni finds himself with an incredibly difficult task.
You forgot monotony, but go ahead. Yeah.
The ability, they've never been able to beat San Antonio, and that would be their second round opponent. The Spurs are playing tremendous. The last time the two teams met, Bowen did a phenomenal job defensively on Steve Nash, who I believe is the MVP of all the land. Tony Parker took it right at Steve. Duncan was magnificent, and Stoudemire and Boris Diaw didn't show up in that game. So what will it be? And then the Dallas Mavericks, that is a really, really good team. And if they can get their centers to have impact in the Golden State series, they can put the Warriors out early.
Williams off the mark. And I think that record that Golden State had against Dallas during the regular season is spurious at best. I think that's fool's gold. That's cubic zirconia, not diamonds. Don't forget Sports Center coming up next. Steve Levy and John Anderson with a wrap-up of a busy Saturday in sports, including plenty of playoff action in the NBA.
Dallas, Golden State. If you take the Mavericks' big guys out of the equation, then it's a toss-up. Those guys for Golden State are really good, and they're playing such a small game. Jason Richardson, Baron Davis, the UCLA legend. I mean, that is happening right now. And Don Nelson, who has, just a magical touch with making guys enjoy playing basketball. Will Avery Johnson live up to his Coach of the Year resume in this very difficult series for the Mavericks?
Game 1 in the books. It goes to Houston, 84-75. Don't forget Sports Center coming up next. And Jim Gray standing by with the resurgent Tracy McGrady.
Mark, indeed he was. He had just 1 point in the first half, 0 for 6, 8 for 11 in the second half. You finished with 23 points, Tracy. What changed?
Just being aggressive. I had a rough first half shooting the ball. It wasn't going to let me affect my game. So I just want to come out second half, attack right away. And I was fortunate enough to have a couple jumpers fall for me in the third quarter, and I just got it rolling.
How much pressure have you put on yourself, saying that it's on you to win this series, it's on you, this team, and that it's your team?
I put a lot on myself. I expect a lot of myself every time I step foot on this basketball court. So, like I said before, we're going to go as far as I carry us.
And here in the second half, how did you guys manage to carry the defense over and hold them to 33 points?
Well, we just made some in-game adjustments on the defensive end. You know, they had a pick and roll rolling, and we couldn't stop it in the first half. So we made some adjustment at halftime. We shut their go-to play down, and we executed on offense. You know, we matched their intensity because they came out firing.
Tracy, congratulations. We'll see you for game 2.
Thank you, Jim.
Back to you, Mark.
All right, Jim. Tracy McGrady with 23 points in the game. 22 of those coming in the second half when his team needed it most. Game 1 goes to the Rockets. Boozer gave a lot early, but in the end it was McGrady with the final save. Does he have the look of a champion, perhaps, making it out of the first round? I would think so. It's been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For Bill Walton, Jim Gray, and our entire crew, I'm Mark Jones. Right now, here's SportsCenter.